Get a chance to say a little something. There's only 9 innings in the game, so I certainly can't have it all. It's going to be a big day here today. We're going through all the All-Stars for you. First for the South squad. These are alphabetical order. Everyone's going to get mentioned here on the front end. I'm sure both managers have got the unenviable task of getting him in the game. For the South, Bob Reese, Darian Carpenter, first baseman from Newmarket on the club. Joe Chister, Desiree Hill from Newmarket, also on the club. Blake Edwards, shortstop from the Covington Lumberjacks. J.C. Escara, catcher from Stanton Breeze. Garrett Ford, left-handed pitcher from Harrisonburg Turks. Brandon Dole, third baseman from Harrisonburg Turks. Colton Rubin, outfielder from the Waynesboro Generals. Brandon Gunn, the Third Valley All-Star from the Newmarket Rebels. Garrett Kelly, right-handed pitcher from the Newmarket Rebels. Eric Kelly, the MVP of the All-Star game last summer from the Harrisonburg Turks. Jimmy Kerrigan, outfielder from the Newmarket Rebels. Cooper Kessler, right-handed pitcher from the Stanton Braves. Evan Llewellyn, right-handed pitcher from the Harrisonburg Turks. Mike Monsinko, utility player from the Waynesboro Generals. Gunnar Neal, huge offensive year from the Stanton Braves. Matt O'Neill, from the Covington Lumberjacks, as a third baseman. Jake Perkins, right-handed pitcher from the Newmarket Rebels. Blake Green, right-handed pitcher from the Stanton Braves. Richard Sharford, second baseman from the Stanton Braves. Joey Roach, catcher from the Harrisonburg Turks. Joey Rodriguez, outfielder from the Stanton Braves. Matt Rose, designated hitter from the Harrisonburg Turks. Jeff Shank, left-handed pitcher from the Waynesboro Generals. Thomas Smith, second baseman from the Harrisonburg Turks. 3-year player and multiple All-Star back here in Shenandoah. Thomas Spitz from the Harrisonburg Turks, he's also in his second All-Star game after that summer. Cody Strader, right-handed pitcher from the Covington Lumberjacks. Ryan Stephen, right-handed pitcher from the Covington Lumberjacks. Hunter Thomas, outfielder from the Stanton Braves. Zach Williamson, right-handed pitcher from the Waynesboro Generals. Mentioned Coach Reese is the manager of the South squad, and the head coaches from all the other schools are the assistant coaches. Of course, that would be C.J. Rhodes from the Newmarket Rebels. Charlie Burnett from the Covington Lumberjacks, DJ King from the Waynesboro Generals, and George Lossie from the Stanton Braves. Take a look at our North roster. The North is a club that is comprised of 6 different teams, and the South has 5 teams, an 11-team league this year. And there's big news concerning that I'll get to when we start talking about some of the Valley League issues this evening. Jake Anthony, right-hand pitcher from the Charlestown Cannons, is on the North squad. Kevin Barron, second baseman from the Strasburg Express. Mark Bauman, left-hand pitcher from the Woodstock Rebels. Evan Bickett, right-hander from the Front Row Cardinals. Jose Maria Traverso, outfielder from the Strasburg Express. Charles Cantrell, right-hand pitcher from the Winchester Royals. Alberto Delatorre, right-hand pitcher from the Albee Senators. Jerry Downs, first baseman from the Winchester Royals. Tom Zerker, right-hand pitcher from the Strasburg Express. Matt Gandy, catcher from the Charlestown Cannons. Two-time All-Star for Gandy, albeit with Covington last summer. Joe Giacchino, outfielder from the Albee Senators. Jake Harper, left-hander from the Front Royal Cardinals. Logan Hogarth, outfielder from the Woodstock River Bandits. Dave Hoffman, catcher from the Bandits as well. Rock Hunter, left-handed pitcher from the Strasburg Express. Reach Kouroulis, right-hand pitcher from the Albee Senators. Stephen Kerr, second baseman from the Charlestown Cannons. Keegan Long, right-hand pitcher from the Front Royal Cardinals. Alex Mata, shortstop from the Winchester Royals. Sheldon McCain, outfielder from the Cardinals. Luke Knoll, right-handed pitcher from the Winchester Royals. Austin Run, right-handed pitcher from the Woodstock River Bandits. Hunter Newman, third baseman from the Front Royal Cardinals. Anthony Payne, catcher from the Strasburg Express. Esteban Huerta, first baseman from the Woodstock River Bandits. Nick Sine, outfielder from the Front Royal Cardinals. Austin Stevens, left-handed pitcher from the Charlestown Cannons. Garrett Burbank, shortstop from the Albee Senators. Spencer Wolf, catcher from the Front Royal Cardinals. The Cardinals manager Brad Leffingwell gets to manage the club because Warwick were in first place in the 29th.
Newmarket and the Freedom Panthers, number 18, Burkett.
As far as selecting players, and he was in first place and all of that. The assistant coaches for Coach Nevermore are Eric Lemley from the Albany Center, Brett Moore from Charlestown Kings, Ben Moore from the Strasburg Express, Phil Beverly from the Woodstock River Bandits, and Stu Richardson from the Winchester Royals. Players are getting their proper introductions down there. We've got the Daniel Sportswear shirts down there. A lot of sponsors have really gotten involved with the Harrisonville Hawks for all the rental ads that you see here, but also some All-Star Game specific sponsors, Subway being one of them. They got a pre-game deal for the players. We always appreciate that. And Dean Steele. And the things you remember, when you look at the Harrisonville, it's not an American flag that flies on the north side of the city. It's 30 feet by 60 feet. Friends of Dean Steele have known us as solid. We'll bring it out here to the ballpark, and we have flying in dead center field, a 30 by 60 foot flag. It's a beautiful day. So we look for glory and show us stars and stripes.
Number 5, Nate Stewart.
Is doing that for us. Good crowd arriving here. Players getting proper introduction.
And Georgia's at number 14, Brendan Burrow.
Guys have been making some friendships here. Multiple years later, coaching that game with Harrisonville Crooks and Brandon Dunn from the New Mountain Rebels. The guys are multiple year All-Stars.
And Shippensburg, number 2, Mike
They have another big summer here in the Shenandoah Valley. We have scouts in the building as well.
And the University of Rhode Island, number 9, Matt O'Neill.
One of the events you'll see a lot of radar guns out, and some of the pitchers will come in knowing they're only going to slow down inning, trying to hit a number on the gun, really show their skills. So one of our skills events earlier in the day was the 60-yard dash. Some plenty of fast players, but top of the heap, Nick Sine from the front wheel part of the 60-yard dash is 6.2. I can only think of one time in my 13 years of having the pleasure to do this.
Number 10, Cole Gruber.
Two players in mine, and I know that each of them didn't play each of their number 8 years. So good players. Right behind Sine were Jose Maria Traverso at 6'3", Strasburg Express, and Thomas Fitz from the Harrisonville Crooks. Both of them
number 18, Joey Rodriguez.
Guys. For those of you who aren't familiar with Eagle Field, it's a pretty good sized ballpark, major league ballpark. 330 down the left field line, 400 dead center, 320 down the right field line, with a 16-foot high wall headed from the right center gap all the way over to the right field corner. So you got to give it a little bit of a hope to get it out of here. That's exactly what our whole bevy of players were able to do with the home run hitting contest. Participants in the home run contest were Hunter Newman, Andy Yassett, Darian Carpenter, Matt O'Neill, Eric Kelfleisch, Michael McClellan, and Matt Rose. Advancing out of the first round were Hunter Newman, Andrew Yassett, and Darian Carpenter. Both of those home runs were hit because the wind was really kicking out of here to left field. And so there's some guys who hit some no doubt about it shots. We're talking 100, 125 feet out of here. Some big flies were hit in the home run hitting contest.
Now let's meet the North All-Star.
3 of the players that advanced were Hunter Newman,
and Georgia College,
and Darian
University,
Carpenter.
number 44,
They all had multiple home runs advancing to the finals. Basically advancing to the second round, 7, 6, and 4 respectively. And then into the finals, you had Hunter Newman and Darian Carpenter, each with 11, and Andrew Yassett with 10. So 10 home runs for Yassett was not enough to advance to the final round. And in the end, it was Darian Carpenter winning the final round of the home run contest with 4 more in the final round over Hunter Newman, who hit a couple. So a lot of big flies. A beautiful day to have a giant fly out here with a strong enough wind to lift it up. So the line pretty nicely for that to happen. If you're joining us on the live stream, I'm not sure if the live stream is up and going yet. We'll have that for the ball game first. certainly not all of the action to tell you that. The rosters have been figured out here, and they got the starting lineup that we're getting to some point. One of the challenges in an all-star game for these managers, you have an oversized roster and the need to get everyone in the ballgame, so you really have to be creative. So I think a lot of times the players that will better understand you might only play 2 at-bats, might be the most that anyone gets. You've got to get guys in the game. And for these pitchers, there's no doubt about it, you're going to get 1 inning maximum. And if you come into the ballgame late in the game, maybe you're going to walk the guy or give up a hit. You might only face 1 hitter, so you never want to leave somebody out of the all-star game. I think that not that you've wasted their time, because there's a lot to take in an all-star game. But you want to get guys in the game. That's the whole thing of an all-star game, especially when we're scouts here. It's important to give these guys a chance to be seen. So we're getting a proper introduction here in the ballpark. Dudley, voice of Harrison Young Turks. They had a lot of fun with the home run hitting contest as well. I followed a home run hitting contest before where they were going to have a day where it just sets up beautiful, like the ball coming out of the ballpark and turning to players swinging bats. Today was just a bumper crop of home runs. Even some of the guys that didn't get out of the first round still hit 3, 4, 5 home runs. Watching this group in batting practice was impressive. Winchester Royals left-hand fielder Jerry Downs hit a bullet off of the scoreboard in the right center. And that's about a 390-foot shot. Maybe it was 5, 6 feet above the scoreboard, and it's hold for Jerry because the ball was going out of the ballpark in about 7.5. Probably longer than that. I am exaggerating, but you see some impressive things when you get these guys really turning on the baseball. And you understand, number one, it's hard to hit a baseball. Hit it hard.
Number 4, Jose Maria Traverso.
Whoever your evaluated all-star is, or whoever your evaluated player is, understand that year in, year out, you'll see players that show up as a different cat than the summer, as the players will say. Year to year, the player development is extremely interesting. The Chips and Denny have had a lot of talent through the years that will show up in the summer, and well, he was good last summer, right now. He was a prospect. So you understand that opportunity to player, these multiple year players in particular, you really see go back and
Brett Fuller of Charlestown.
into a player.
Ben Moore of Strasburg. Bill Beverly of Woodstock. And Steve Richardson.
All the coaches are getting their proper introductions now. We're getting the starting lineups.
The 2014 North All-Stars.
For the South team, Raymond Gunn's going to lead it off for the South. He'll be playing shortstop. Thomas Crooks will be out in center field. He's batting second. Hunter Thomas will be the right fielder.
One of the most recognizable images coming into Harrisonburg is the huge show of patriotism that is Dean Steele American flag that we have here flying tonight. Measuring 30 feet by 60 feet, the flag pays tribute to those who fought for and won America's liberty. A special thanks to Dean Steele Erectors for this all-star appearance. And now, we will sing tonight's national anthem. Miss Carly Stevenson, a reporter and weekend co-anchor at WHSB TV3 right here in Harrisonburg.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars
Here's the starting lineup for the North All-Stars. Leading off, controlling center field, number 6, Nick Sine. Batting second is the left fielder, number 8, Jose Bonilla from Urso. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 30, Jerry Downs. Batting fifth, and playing third base, number 23, Hunter Newman. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 22, Shell McKee. Batting sixth and playing first base, number 24, Esteban Puerto.
Baseball fan.
Baseball fan.
It's going to be a whole different thing. Fans are really into it like that. It's a special thing about this league.
On the back door,
South lineup, I mentioned the Brandon Zone, Stitz, and Hunter Thomas. And then 1, 2, 3, Matt Rose will be the designated hitter for the South. Will bat fifth. Thomas Smith will bat sixth. Center Weaver will bat seventh. Matt O'Neill will bat eighth. J.C. Escara will bat ninth. And on the hill for the General is up there, Jeff Shank. Maybe more information on this players as they come to the plate. As far as the scorebook goes, an all-star game is always a test of just how much ink you have in your pen. Probably best to write on the field. But thank God for the computer so we can go to the electronic line card. All-star games can be a personnel nightmare. I promise you I will do my very best to let you know when your Valley League All-Star is in the game. For the North, Speedy Nick Sine will lead it off in center field. He's followed by just a step behind him, Jose Bonilla from Urso. He's back second in left field. Jerry Downs, the designated hitter, will swing third. Hunter Newman will be at third base batting cleanup. Shell McCain will be in right field batting fifth. Esteban Puerta will be at first base. Dave Hoffman will do the catching. He'll bat seventh. Garrett Verbanek will be at shortstop batting eighth. Alex Mata, the second baseman, will bat ninth. And on the bump for the North will be Jake Harper, left-hand pitcher for the front Royal Cardinals. Harper was with the Harrisonburg First last summer, so he was another guy who's he had a terrific first half of the season, but the first last year struggled in the second half. So he's come back.
Let's welcome to the
Royal Cardinals and not having a damn season. So much of this commentary today about the individual players like there is in the All-Star game. I'll touch on who's in first place and all that because we got a good battle for first place going on in Stormville and Harrisonburg. Waynesboro is also a team that's shown what's happening in the All-Star game. All-Star Subway Talks, defending champs, so certainly getting them to be heard from. 8 teams make the playoffs in evaluating out of 11 teams. The reason the ratio is so high is because you have the pennant. You can win the pennant by winning the regular season title, and then you have the Jim Ryan Cup championship trophy for the Valley Baseball League. And I think that it gives teams the incentive to really play hard to finish on because Waynesboro was a great example last year. They had mostly a down season. They were 4 or 5 games under 500 late in the season. Got on a winning streak and got back to 500. Got into the playoffs at the end at an even 22-22 over the 44-game schedule. Well, the River Generals didn't get hot for 10 days. They just rolled it up. Did a terrific job of holding the Valley League title for the Strasburg Express. So, I just think that stories like that have been known in the Valley League for the most part. The teams that just get hot late and win the championship. And a lot of the coaches will go back and forth on which of the two things they value the most. The pennant comes with literally a placard or a banner or whatever you want to announce that you won the pennant. The Valley League championship comes with the trophy. Both teams, a lot of coaches will value one over the other. Coach Weiss has always thought that the clean sweep is certainly what you want. But when you win 10 over 44 games, he values that more because it really is, when you're comparing 44 games to 9 or 10 games, his whole thing is a bigger sample size tells you more about the players and shows more about the players and scouting and all that kind of stuff. Brandon Gum heads to the plate for the South All-Stars.
The League All-Star game tonight is the
For
shortstop,
Brandon
number
Gum,
15,
he rolling
Gum.
numbers last summer. Hasn't really gotten going quite yet. Had a great season in college. George Mason had a great season in general. Fastball in there for a strike from Jake Harper, underway with All-Star baseball action. 7:34 Eastern Standard Time. Strike two. Jake Harper working quickly. A couple of fastballs, and he's got Gum in an 0-2 hole. 0-2 pitch missed outside. Harper's battery mate, Dave Hoffman from Woodstock, chopped foul down the third base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. If you're in the local area, please come and join us. Looks like the crowd is about equal size to Harrisonburg Turks opening night here. Breaking ball missed outside. Mentioned that Gum is from George Mason. Jake Harper's from St. Joseph's College. He got some foul tip on the left. Breaking ball just missed inside, and Brandon Gum has worked it full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Grounded out towards shortstop. Gobbled up low throw is dug out there on the plate. Garrett Verbanek on the plate. A nice dig out.
The center fielder from the Harrisonburg Turks, number 18, Thomas
One down. Here
Spitz.
comes Thomas Spitz. 326 on the season for Spitz. Been struggling a little bit of late. But as center fielders go, he's kind of a 5-tool player. Pitch from Harper. Misses up and in. He can throw, he can run, he can hit. And he's shown that he can hit for power. Rounded out towards shortstop and through for a base knock. And Spitz has got the first hit of the ball game. Always a threat to run is Mr. Spitz. Showed pretty well in the 60-yard dash run in the 6.3. Boy, his Turk teammates, and especially his Turks
Hunter
coach,
Thomas.
you just wonder how come someone hasn't caught on to Spitz. It might be his day. Swung on and missed by, swung on fouled off left side. First pitch from Harper, lefty-lefty matchup here. Hunter Thomas. Quick flip first, and Spitz is back, no problem. Hunter Thomas from Stanton Braves. He plays for Georgia Southern. He hails from Johns Creek, Georgia. Lefty-lefty matchup here. There goes Spitz. Pitches low. Throw down to second is not in time. And Spitz has got a single and a steal now. Some of these players can be a one-man rally, whether it's Thomas Spitz or Bonilla Traverso or Nick Sine. Give them an inch, and maybe they'll not take a mile, but they will take another 90 feet and maybe another 90 more. 1 ball, 1 strike. Harper deals. Popped foul down the left field line down into the south bullpen area. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Turks' normal concession group and normal game staff is working the ball game. John Huddle down there serving up some great food. Some nice rough cut fries coming. The flare out towards center. Fields ball's really carrying the wind. Is moving this one, but caught in deep center. Spitz will tag up and make it to third easily. Whole lot of carry on that ball, like a nice easy swing. Hunter Thomas gave it a nice easy swing. Stay in center. Posted back and made the catch. Probably about 385 in dead center. Here comes Matt Rose. Rose has had a giant season for the Turks. Let's see if he can drive his teammate Spitz in. Breaking ball from Harper. Cuts the play to 2. No balls and 1 strike. Rose, one of those Georgia Southern Panthers. Georgia State Panthers that have so much 0-1 pitch chopped out to shortstop. It'll be a tough play, scooped up. First is high. We throw would have had him, so that's going to be an error. 1-run scored as Fitz comes in and play. That comes in and plays one. So 1-0 South. Scored a throwing error on Verbanek. High chopper over the top of Harper, who's about 6'4" or 6'5". Verbanek had the charge taken on the second in between hop. It was his throw that was high. Slider missed inside.
First baseman Gunnar McNeil.
Gunnar McNeil from the Stanton Braves. Next pitch missed inside as well. 2 balls and no strikes. Change-ups. One and miss. Good pitch by Harper. Most lefties have that little turnover pitch in their repertoire. They call it a little, hold it like a circle change or whatever, something to run away from a righty. He'll flare out to a right field. And caught out there for the top number 3 by Sheldon McKean. 1 run in for the South at the bottom half of the first inning.
Valley Baseball League salutes Subway restaurants from Northern Virginia through the Shenandoah Valley for their generous support as the title sponsor of today's All-Star Showcase event. Subway provides the pregame meal for players, coaches, Major League scouts, volunteers, and league officials. That's Subway, proud sponsor of the Valley Baseball League. Valley baseball fans can take a step. Throughout this evening's ball game, we're going to give away souvenir baseballs in the Valley Baseball League. First winning number is 237-8018. 237-8018. If you have that winning number, come up here to the press box. Get your souvenir baseball in the Valley Baseball League. 237-8018. Let's get on the mound, representing the Butler Bulldogs in the Williamsburg Metals, Jeff Shank. Leading off from Buffalo and from Royal, number 12, Nixon A.
Bottom of the first inning, 1-0 South All-Stars so far. Nixon A, Jose Bonilla Traverso, and Jerry Downs. First pitch to Sine is high for a ball. Jeff Shank doing the pitching for South. First pitch is also low for a ball. Shank has had a terrific season for Waynesboro. 131 innings pitched so far. Fastball pops to Bill high. 3 balls, no strikes to Sine. 31 innings, pretty high number so far. 3-0 in the season for Shank. All 4 up high. Looks down at his hand. Something may not be right there. So 4-pitch walk to him. Very speedy guy. And Nick Sine. 26 hits allowed in the 31 innings. 28 strikeouts to go along with just 7.
The left fielders. Number 8, Jose Bonilla Traverso.
So here comes Bonilla Traverso. And up high with a fastball to Bonilla Traverso. Shank, this one up high. Jose from Boca Raton, Florida. Slider in there for a strike. 5'11", 165, switch hitter. And we know he can't run. Shank on the hill from Butler University, hails from Naperville, Illinois, 6'1", 195, a lefty. Soft toss to first, and Sine is back, no problem. Shank comes set now, and he'll throw over again. Sine's speed gets your attention. Bonilla Traverso, 306 on the season. He does have 8 steals, but he's also been caught 7 times. So a guy with a lot of speed kind of refined his base stealing skills. Breaking ball stays up high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Shank comes set now, and he deals to Bonilla Traverso. Foul straight back to the screen, right on a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jerry Downs is on deck in Winchester Royals. Boy, did he hit a couple to the downs in batting practice. The top home run hitters statistically are in the home run hitting contest. I would like to see Downs in that too. 2-2 pitch. Nope, throws over first again. Shank gave up an uncharacteristic 4-pitch walk. Now he wants to keep Sine close to trying to race up trouble he's got himself into. 2-2 pitch, change-up, swung on and missed. A lot of arm speed by Shank. And out came a little flutter ball. What a beautiful change of speed there for the strikeout.
The designated hitter number 30, Jerry Downs,
strikes out. I think in a normal ball game you would have seen Jose Bonilla Traverso try and bunt there. Speedy guys that can bunt cause some trouble. And this, you want people to swing away in this ball. There goes Sine, breaking ball is low for a ball. There'll be no throw. And sliding right past the bag is Nick Sine, the head first slide. Synthetic field here at Eagle Field. The only dirt is the mound itself. Everything else is green or red synthetic turf. You can slide by these bases, wet or dry. Pitch was called a strike to Downs. 0-1 pitch, hot foul left side.
Please return all foul balls to the concession stand for releasing compliments of City Motors.
Hunter Newman is on deck from North. Shank a little bluff whirl around and he gets Sine to retreat back to second. Some pitchers are very good at recovering from their mistakes, and I think that Shank is trying to do that by keeping the runner close. He'll have trouble scoring on a single, or have trouble getting a good jump on a steal, and all those little things don't necessarily hit the scorecard. They're very important. No balls and 2 strikes to Jerry Downs. Shank comes set, gives Sine a glance, and now he deals. Breaking ball, little flare out toward right field, hanging up though, and gliding over and making a catch. In right field, no trouble for Sine getting over the third base on his play. Hunter Thomas in right on catch south. Here comes Hunter Newman.
Third baseman, Hunter Newman.
Shank trying to get out of trouble here. Pitch to Newman. Looked like that changeup again, ended up low inside. Newman took it. 352 for Hunter Newman. 5 home runs, 27 runs batted in. That is some nice number 2. A pop-up toward right field, a mile high. Mixing around up there under that rim, but caught out there right field again by Hunter Thomas. But Hunter takes care of another. So 1-0. South on top. The second inning here.
Valley
2014
Baseball
Valley League
League
All
Baseball
Star.
and Printed Sportswear of Harrisonburg for providing the special number 3-game All-Star jerseys worn by today's All-Star participants. These special jerseys aid MLB scouts with player identification. Daniels and Printed Sportswear of Harrisonburg is a proud partner of the Valley Baseball League. Giving away a Valley Baseball League souvenir
There he is.
baseball to line number 237-8069. 237-8069.
Oh, what have you?
Remember, come on up to the front box.
Good stuff.
Claim your prize.
Hey, Matt. You guys. Okay.
All right, all right?
Here, I'm gonna put it up on top.
Yeah, okay. We can afford these nice microphones and stuff.
There we go. All that good stuff. Less things to figure out. Let's come back a little earlier.
Now pitching for the North All-Stars from Albany, number 23, Roberto Elatorre.
And welcome back to the 2014 Valley League All-Star Game. Umberto Delatorre takes the hill for the North All-Stars. I mentioned we're going to have a lot of the principal players for various teams, and Jay Neal joins us now from the Scottsburg Express.
Nice to be here.
Well, what a day it's been. I mean, we had the fast players show that they're fast, the guys that can hit it out show that they can hit it out, and the weather's cooperating as well.
Yeah, our speedy center fielder, I thought running the 6.3, nobody would beat him. He ran a 6.35. Give him front row and a 6.28. That is smoking.
And they just led off for the North. How about that? What a 1-2 punch that is. In there for a strike to Thomas Smith, 1 ball and no strike. No balls and 1 strike. And Jay, to say the least, the Express has had an interesting season. Give the listeners an idea what a challenge it's been for you.
We have played 2 home games so far. We were unable to play at home originally because Strasburg is in the baseball playoffs, and they went all the way to the state title game, which is wonderful.
Heck yeah.
Although they didn't win it, but they went all the way, and that was great. But we couldn't get on the field, and then our first home game, we had the Star Spangled Banner, the first pitch.
And Mr. Smith misses out.
Then a huge storm blew in, 60-mile-an-hour winds. It shook our press box. It damaged our backstop. It broke a steel pole in half, if you can believe that.
So even with the hatches battened down, you would have still had some trouble with that.
We did, and we would have.
Minor foul ball, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Smith.
So as it ended up, we didn't play a home game for the first 27 games of the season. Woodstock and Newmarket were absolutely wonderful, allowing us to play home games at their place, but there is no place like home. And it was tough. We felt like the Gypsies. We thought about changing the name for a couple of weeks.
Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz certainly coined the phrase on the first one there. Breaking ball missed outside. One of the challenges each summer is keeping the temperament and the mood of the club right. This challenge of suddenly being displaced from your own field, I mean, it certainly is. Your group of guys is being tested, and it's a question of you guys made it to the finals last year. I mean, have you got a group that's up to the task?
Yeah, we do.
Ground ball base hit left by Smith.
Nice ground ball. Nice hit. Coach Moore does a great job, and he basically sold them on the idea. 2 things you can do. You can pack it in, and you can whine about it, or you can make the best of it. And they, I think, have done the latter. Once we got on our home field, we haven't lost a game since. We won 5 in a row, so we're looking good.
That's an inspirational story, and I did not have music bed under for that one. I mean, we needed a Chariots of Fire or something, a little team of the Express that could. I mean, I love everything about the, love everything about the Express when it comes to the train, your logo, and the fact that you can have the train whistle and all that good stuff. There's so much about it that from a marketing packaging standpoint, it's so cool.
We had a lot of fun with it, and we had a contest to pick the name, and that was the overwhelming favorite. Interesting thing. We'll get this pitch in here first.
Cole Gruber is up there now. No balls and 1 strike. There goes Smith. Throw to second is in time.
Interesting thing, we had a contest to pick out the name for the team. We had 120 possibilities, narrowed to 5, and Express was chosen. There was only one color considered, purple. There was never a mention of any other color at any time, any place, anywhere.
You guys, you're in Ram country, and that's the Strasburg Rams are a little single A program that has really been a powerhouse for years and years. And their baseball program there really handed you a built-in audience, I think.
Coach Smoot does a great job. They've got a great tradition. Both my sons played there and went on to play in college, as have a number of other guys.
And Coach Smoot's boys are good.
Coach Smoot's boys are good. They're here tonight watching the ballgame.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Cole Gruber. Fastball pop foul, left side out of play. The lights have just been turned on here at Eagle Field.
Ball to the concession stand.
Yeah, we've been lucky. We've got an extremely supportive community. When we finally got a home game, you could see the players feeding off the crowd noise because the crowd's really, really loud. In Strasburg, the crowd is right on top of you, and it turned things around.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we probably have another 20 feet of foul territory here compared to your ballpark. 1-2 pitch missed inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Gruber.
Although we would take this ballpark, the purple's made for us.
Well, yeah, because it's JMU, absolutely. The Dukes and the Express have got a very similar color scheme. There's the purple everywhere, the seats and the bleachers, all that good stuff. 2-2 pitch, high and outside for a ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And I mean, I know that you guys have had a lot more success the last couple of years. You had more talent in. You got a league MVP. Tarsevich was your league MVP. Made it to the finals last year.
He was actually our second. Our first was Brad Zevitas from Presbyterian.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Brad Zevitas, right. A very good one.
And
so you guys are starting to check off some milestones. Is a clumsy point I'm trying to make here.
Yep. Yeah, we had 6 guys drafted last year off of Express, so that's the kind of thing we like to see. Tarsevich, by the way, is burning up Cape Cod League right now.
Loving it. Pitch to Gruber on the outside corner, swung on and missed strikes in now. Here comes Matt O'Neill. Delator on the hill. I know I've seen him once come in here pitch against Harrisonburg. He's good. Fastball swung on and fouled.
Yeah, he was a USC Beaufort, and I believe he transferred. But he pitched against us last year in the playoffs. Really good pitcher, nice kid, really, really good kid. We had 2 of his teammates from USC Beaufort on our team last year, and he can throw.
Yes, and I think that for these kids that can really throw, scouts like to see just how raw they are. Good-looking fastball popped up toward left center, a mile high. Shortstop makes the call on the catch. For the North. Advance from the screens. We'll stay over here. We've got Jay Neal from the Strasburg Express with us. And I think that for your All-Stars, you guys are like year 6, 4, is that about right?
We're 5, I believe.
Yeah, year 5. I think that starting a franchise is always a challenge, and it's part community outreach, it's part business, it's all of those things all rolled into one. I mean, tell listeners a little bit about the unique challenge of getting the team off to a good start.
It takes a really supportive community. Actually, the first thing you need is a really supportive wife. If your wife is not on board, you might as well hire a divorce lawyer before you start. Fortunately, my wife is on board. She has a chair somewhere that says First Lady. And she's been wonderful. So if you listen, dear, thank you very much. But it does. It takes a strong community effort. Strasburg is a sports town. It's a baseball town. They love the color purple. And Strasburg, it's kind of fun because they seem to support anything that moves. Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, baseball, football, you name it, they support it. So we counted on that. And we have the only paid people in our operation are our head coach, our assistant coaches, and our trainer. Everybody else is a volunteer. And people.
When I heard the Express were coming in, not only did I see your logo, your colors, and all that, but it's like I know what that single-play Strasburg Rams fan base is like, and I like that move from the Valley League. It's been a winner.
It's fun. We're enjoying being in the league. The fans there have never seen this level of baseball. It's so true throughout the Valley. A lot of people simply don't realize how good this baseball is until they see it.
Well, I think that one of the stories that'll play out going into next year is that the Charlottesville club, still unnamed at this point, is coming into the league. And I think that that's going to be good for all of us because they're landing in a high caliber market with some more population, unlike Strasburg. And I think that they got an opportunity with the University of Virginia, who's kind of at their high water mark. You and I talked about this earlier, and it just seems like such a winning move for Charlottesville and the Valley League.
They will be great for the league. They have a wonderful setup. They've got a supportive community. University of Virginia, as a Hokie, It kills me. I actually found myself pulling for them this year. I think I need to do penance, but I'm not Catholic. But UVA is a wonderful program. That's going to carry over, and now they can see college.
I'll give you, let's say, 3 Hail Marys and 2 Art Collars. if I give it to you, does it have the same weight?
That'll work. That'll
I don't
work.
have a collar on or anything.
That's okay.
New pitcher into the ballgame, Cody Strayer from Covington. He's from Shawnee State, hails from Columbus, Ohio. Right-hander chucking it out there. In there for a strike.
Yeah, Charlottesville's certainly going to be a strong franchise. They're well supported. Golly day, they've already got a director of marketing. I mean, they're going to have a really impressive operation.
Fastball missed outside for the ball. Alex Mata from the front row Cardinals is the hitter. I think one of the neatest things about that is that former Valley Leaguer and Major Leaguer Joe Koshansky is behind it, and he was a Stanton Brave and a darn good one. My goodness, did that kid hit. And he's got the connections to UVA because he's no alone. He's been to the major leagues. He was a Stanton Brave. Well, you talk about all the points on the triangle.
He is connected all across the board. Wow.
Hit high and deep down the left field line. That'll hook foul. Earlier in the home run contest, I think the wind was clipping a little too hard for anything to hook. But that ball had 330 easily down the left field line, but foul by about 15 or 20 feet.
Very impressive foul ball. No, Joe's tremendous, and I keep hearing jokes about they won't let him hit. So he must have been something else. I never saw him play in the league.
In there for a strike. Well, Joe played all the way up to the major leagues. You know, really had some of them played the Colorado Rockies and for their AAA club. Two big hitters ballparks. He was one of the most impressive home run hitters at the minor league level, and did some damage at the major league level as well.
Well, you couldn't ask for a more perfect night, could you?
It is very nice.
It is spectacular. The flag from Dean Steele really makes a nice touch out there.
It's monstrously large, and that's large and in charge. Dave Hoffman is the hitter now. 2 balls, no strikes to Hoffman. Chop down foul, third base way. 2 balls and 1 strike. Let's give you Hoffman is on deck. There's another River Bandit here. Esteban Puerta. Line drive base hit to left field. Thinking about 2 to settle in for 1. What are your overall impressions of your club this year compared to last year's team that made it all the way to the final? Hard to tell still?
Yeah, we're starting to get a read. I think we've
They
got.
can play at home apparently.
They can't play. Well, based on 2 games, yes. That's not much of a measuring stick.
Here comes Dave Hoffman. Now, the River Bandits are a team that's really struggled to score some runs, but we got some offense going here with some Bandits.
Well, with 8 of the 11 teams making the playoffs, anybody, if you get hot for 4 or 5 games, you're right back. Even Woodstock, I mean, they got off to a tough start. They've had some really close games, but you peel off 4 or 5 in a row, and you're right there.
Making the playoffs is job 1. Hopped up right side. That'll be out of play as a souvenir. Pretty good crowd here in Harrisonburg today. Folks had a heck of a good time watching that home run hitting contest because we've all seen the kind where you just realize whether it's a dead ball or the conditions aren't right, you only see 2, 3 good home runs. We had 30 or 40 of them here tonight.
Had a bunch.
Easily, maybe more, maybe 50.
Looked like a popcorn popper for a while.
And if you look at the flag now, it's just not doing much. We got absolutely lucky with how much it flew out. Slider just low and outside.
Yeah, to get back to your question, our team this year, I think we're deeper in pitching, starting pitching, which is always nice. You learn real quick in this league, pitching is extremely important. It's first, last, and everything.
Well, it keeps you in games that your offense didn't. There's a strike on the outside corner. For strike 3.
We lost one of our best pitchers, Scotty Ward from Florida Tech. He sprained his ankle on my driveway, so not good.
Number 20, Garrett Urbanek.
Everybody has issues like that, and you're worried in a time like this. I know where my all-stars are. Where are the rest of the guys? First pitch to Urbanek is grounded right back to the hill, and underhanded for out number 3. So 1-0 ball game for this home half of the
He's on the second, no runs, one hit.
we head to the top of the south is your
Two.
home team here. But what are your overall impressions of the league in general? Because I think that we all have we all remember different things about getting pretty good at baseball. I know that I played, but sometimes it takes you really seeing the upper levels to realize that you weren't even close. I used to think I was okay, and now I realize, boy, I was not even going to sniff it.
There was so much to the league. I mean, I played baseball. I played football in college. I didn't play college baseball, but I've seen it 3 different ways. I was a fan of the Valley League for years. My son's played in the Valley League, and of course now I'm GM. So I've seen it as a parent, I've seen it as a fan, now I'm seeing it as a GM, and it really, really is a good league. I mean, people just don't realize how good the talent is here.
Yeah, I mean the pitching part of it is something where when you take the wooden bat, factor that in, and then the better pitching, it really does separate. I always use kind of a tennis analogy, even though I'm not a tennis fan. The sweet spot on a baseball bat that's wood against good pitching. Does it shrink up nice, or
it's not very big. Those metal bats are very forgiving, and a lot of guys can hit 350, 360 in the college season. They come here and they're doing great if they can hit 240, 250.
Right.
If you hit 280 in this league, you've had one heck of a summer. And the guys that hit over 300, they're really hitting because it's good pitching. It's a different kind of bat. And of course, that's why all the scouts are here, to see them do exactly that.
yeah, they really the conditions really separate the men from the boys. And I like it here in the big ballpark because you guys are on the opposite end of the spectrum where a 360-foot fly to center is up against the wall, right?
It's almost out. We're 300 down each line, and we see kids come in all the time, their eyes light up. Not as many balls go out the park as you might think.
Right.
But, 300 down the line, so if you can pull it.
You guys get a little of a dead air syndrome up there at your park, and I think that could be a blessing.
We do. We're near the Shenandoah River, and especially when the sun goes down, the air gets heavy, and they just don't carry as much, especially the center field.
Good. Nobody wants to see 11 to 10 when the pitchers don't want to come to Strasburg next time.
That's true. That's true.
Juan Escara going to lead things off. Jay, I want to thank you for joining us here. And Strasburg has already had a challenging season. I think that you guys have still playing good baseball, and I think that on the back end, you guys will have shown your match.
We have indeed. We peeled off 5 in a row. We hope to keep that up. Pleasure to be with you.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy the rest of the ball game. Jay Neal from the Strasburg Express. Glad to have him on here. All-star game action. 1 ball, 1 strike to Escara. He is low for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. 1-0 game. South All-Stars are on top. And I think that I see guys really trying to hit the number with a gun. Fastball fouled off third base side. Two balls and 2 strikes. Fastball fouled off third base side again. Austin Munn from Woodstock, right-hander on the hill from Ave Maria, hails from Lafayette, Indiana. He's doing the chucking now. A lot of changes going to happen in the All-Star game. Slider grounded down toward first and to the bag unassisted. So Esteban Huerta. I mentioned I'm going to have someone on from each of the various teams, and young man joining me here, he was someone that the Harrisonburg Turks are a little familiar with. Keaton Meade joins us here. Keaton was a Fort Royal Cardinal and a good one. Joined the Harrisonburg Turks for our championship run in 2012. Keaton, welcome back to the Valley League.
Thank you for having me.
Now, with the Front Royal Cardinals, now you've got some history there. I think that you're someone that, as an assistant coach for the Cardinals, you can tell these guys, I've been there, done that.
Right, exactly.
Brandon Grum rounds out the shortstop, picked up for the first and 10 times out with you.
Yeah, I played here for 3 years. Had a lot of fun. Know what's going on. Been in these guys' shoes. Know how to help them, know how to get them through. It's a long season, it's hot. You have to take care of the body, do things right. just to be able to withstand this long summer.
Well, the Cardinals have got about as balanced a team as you're going to want to have, offense and pitching, and really having a fantastic season. And it doesn't look, I mean, you've got a group of guys doing it with the arms and with the bats.
Yeah, we got a good group. They're really buying in, and they really gelled quickly, and it's really helped for success this first half of the season.
Over to Thomas Spitz now. Spitz is 1-for-1 so far, and I mean, I think that when you get to a lot of ball games jammed into a week and all of that, it gives the guys kind of a minor league feel, and the guys figure out, is this for me or isn't it?
Exactly. I mean, after coming through and playing the whole season, then you got 40, couple more. I mean, you got to figure out if this is what you want to do for the rest of your life. And
1-2 fastball in there for a strike, and Thomas Spitz is out of there. So the South comes up empty here, and we'll stay here in 3 innings. We've got Keaton Mead from the Front Royal Cardinals, Valley League alum, Front Royal Cardinal, and Harrisonburg Turks alum. And Keaton, I'm a soft-hearted guy when I see Valley Leaguers come back and still be part of the Valley League. I love it because you guys have a lot more to say than you have in
yeah, it's a lot of fun, you know, to be back here. I wish I could still be playing, but you know, things come up, and you got to make a decision in your life. And it's great to be able to come back and help younger guys.
Are you coaching anywhere else?
No, I'm not. Just working.
Well, the Turks have had a good run of assistant coaches, whether it's Ryan Chapman or Luke Yost, young coaches like yourself. And Coach Yost, who was a high school coach, he went back after the 2012 season, the championship season, and he won a state championship as his first year as a head high school coach. So I think there's a lot about that electric vibe where you're like, okay, now I see where we need to be to impart that to my kids.
Exactly. When you come here, you meet all these new coaches. You learn something new every single day. Each coach has a different opinion or attitude toward things, and you really learn something new every single day from whether it be your own coaches on your own staff or someone from another staff. So it's really a great experience.
Now, my question here, it's a birdie question, is why did Donna push you to the interview? Donna shy?
Actually,
Donna said I was going to join us, but you figured Keaton would be a good surprise.
the other two assistants stayed at home, and you know, I love being around this and love watching the guys that I coach play and be successful. So,
well, any former Turk, and you were just a Turk for a little amount of time, any former Turk whose season ended on a dog pile, we love you.
yes, sir. Thank you.
Where would that term come from? We know it looks like a big old dog pile, but we know other sports says we want to earn your dog pile, get on the dog pile.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It seems like baseball and softball is the only ones that do that. Everyone else kind of just.
Well, there's a lot unique about our sport, though, because the defense has the ball. There's no clock.
Nope.
We always run counterclockwise. There's a lot about our sport that you always run into those people who don't really know baseball, and then you start to plug them into all these little details, and they go from not knowing it to loving it really fast because there's so much going on.
Yep.
You're in the ball game for the South. Garrett Kelly, a right-hander from Wake Forest University. That's from Fresno, California. That's a AAA baseball town, Fresno Grizzlies. Alex Mata, second baseman. Fastball outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. It was sunny all day. Now we're starting to see a little bit of overcast here. Real nice crowd, don't you think?
Yeah, it's a beautiful evening to play.
Chopped out towards shortstop. 2 big hops for Gum. Runner first is high. Caught and put the tag on him. Good play over there. And Mata is out number 1. So where did you graduate college from? I don't recall your school.
Campbellsville University.
Campbellsville.
In Kentucky.
There we go. You're from that area? Oh, that's right. You're a hometown guy. Of course, you're a Front Royal coach. You didn't have far to travel. It just makes good sense to you. But some good young players. And were you here for the home run hitting contest?
I caught the tail end.
They were clunking them out of here in that home run hitting contest. That was nice.
Yeah, I think my boy Newman ran out of gas a little bit.
Well, you had to you had to hit 11 just to make it to the final round. You had to have 11. 10 of them, 10 homers did not get you to the finals. How about that? That's pretty tough. Next pitch is outside for a ball. Nick Sine back up there, speedy center fielder. There's another kid that can really run here. He proved it. Fouled off to the right side. Getting confused with the lowest 60-yard dash number that I've seen. 6.2 is a low number. He's tiny. He put it in Hunter Newman's back pocket, but that kid can run.
Absolutely. For as small as he is, his strides are unbelievable, and he can just fly.
You can really turn that into something. I mean, everyone's on the impression that these major leaguers are all 5'2", complete player guys. That is so far from true. It's not even funny.
No, that's not true at all.
Sidney pops it off foul down the right side.
You know, you very rarely see Mike Trout or Bryce Harper nowadays. It's 1 in a million.
Well, and really, injury-wise, Bryce Harper is kind of having to reinvent himself a little bit. Is he what he was? That's my question, even though he's young.
It may take a while, but
yeah, his potential is still off the charts.
His speed's going to carry him a long way.
Popped up for out number 2. Yeah, he just has to realize that when you run into the wall full speed, the wall is going to be the undefeated champion in that fight.
The wall will hit back.
Left fielder, Jose Maria
Yeah,
Traverso.
Traverso for Strasburg. Just a step behind in the 60-yard dash. Fouled off left side. Now, have you kept up? I mean, you weren't with the Turks that long in 2012, but have you kept up with any of those guys from after those days?
Not really. You know, I've seen a couple of them. Went to their school, do some recruiting in the fall, because I was like a student assistant in the fall, so I did some camps and stuff at their schools. So I was caught up with a couple of them and talked a little bit, but not really on the phone.
It's kind of hard to hide strategy-wise. There's always guys in each dugout who know a little something about the other guys, and can't hit the high cheese or whatever it might be. You guys trade tips on guys really fast.
Oh yeah, most guys play with or against the guys.
Round it up the middle, off the pitch. Are going to be a base hit. First of all, we need to make sure that he's all right. Garrett Kelly got hit pretty hard with a one-hop ground ball. He got him around the chest. He's going to shake it off. And Bonilla Traverso is on first base with a single. 2 outs.
Jerry Downs.
Keaton, it's been great seeing you. I think that staying involved with the Valley League is always a lot of fun. I'm glad to see former Valley Leaguers getting involved.
Thank you. It's a lot of fun. Appreciate you having me on here.
Down for a ball from Kelly. 1-0 South. Yeah, a whole bunch of guys from the 2012 team are playing professionally now. One pitch chopped out towards second. Smith takes a high second hop. Throwing first is in time for out number 3. Very quickly, 3 innings in the book here. South All-Stars on top, 1-0. We're going to step out for a quick break. Fourth inning coming at you, 2014 Valley League All-Star Game action.
20 number for a Souvenir Baseball, 8149. 8149.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you. She's shot.
No, I'm not done. I just said, yeah, so people like that.
No. Softball. Keep it easy for the guests. Take care, folks.
Scouts to identify the players. Daniels and Pretty Sportswear of Harrisburg is a proud partner in the Valley Baseball League.
Hello, sir.
Now pitching for the Fort Hall Stars. From Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers and Strasburg, Thomas Durkin. And now pitching from Strasburg and West Virginia State, Anthony Payne. Leading off, right fielder Hunter Thomas.
Out of the fourth inning, Hunter Thomas will lead it off. Thomas Durkin on the hill from Strasburg. Just missed on the inside corner. Anthony Payne, his battery mate teammate, is behind the plate. And our cavalcade of Valley League Who's Who goes on as Bruce Alger from the Newmarket Rebels steps in.
Hello, Dave. Glad to be here, my friend.
What a day. Just absolutely beautiful in every way. And I think that there's not a person in the ballpark not having a great time.
Amen to that. Beautiful day. Beautiful facility. The hospitality is outstanding. Just a wonderful place to put on a baseball game of this magnitude.
It is. Excitement. Lots of talent here, and the moniker gateway to the majors always comes through because a lot of these guys are going to make it to the majors, and a whole bunch will play in the minors. Hot foul.
I agree. I'm impressed overall, seeing them all together as a group.
Some of the guys in the home run hitting contest. Andrew Yasik, wow. What a player. He just looks as cool as the other side of the pillow, cranking balls 400 feet out of the ballpark. Doesn't look like he's putting much in the swing, but it just jumps off his bat.
The smoothest swing I've seen with that much power in a long time.
He's just sort of standing there like he's hitting it off a tee, which is hard to do. I always tried to do that as practice. It just feels so clumsy trying to hit a ball off a tee, and some of these guys swear by it.
I could never hit a ball off a tee, no matter what size the ball is.
Yeah. My golf game is giving me appreciation for Arbor Day. I know all the trees. Hey, that's a sycamore. Yeah, and your ball's behind it. After a while, you're like, I'm a lot better at other sports. I'll stick with them until my body falls apart, which was about 10 years ago.
A little longer than that for me.
Well,
I still hike a little bit, though.
All on the outside, so a leadoff walk. The camo uniforms in vogue. We have blue camo going on with Stanton and purple camo going on with Strasburg. First of all, I'm colorblind. Second of all, I can't see the numbers to save my life. This is like a Rorschach test with colors. It's just not working for me, Bruce. I can't see. Those two uniforms have got me baffled. This is much easier. Matt Rose coming up in a nice navy blue Turk shirt. Here he is. There goes the runner. Pitcher Rose is outside. Throw to second is up. Ooh, that is a big time throw. Did he not get the tag on him?
No, I believe he dropped the ball.
That was a seed of a throw by Anthony Payne. That was MLB quality throw right there.
Right on the money.
But you got to do a lot. You got to get it in a good spot, which he did. Mata couldn't put the tag on him. Only one slider missed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Rose. Rose has had a big season for the Turks, and it only takes a couple of guys on a team to put the team on their back for a 4 or 5 day period. If they do it, and look up in the standings and like what you see sometimes.
Absolutely. Throughout the season, you'll have to have different men step up, carry your team for a week or two.
You got Brandon Gum is kind of your premier returning player. He had a great season at George Mason. He was one of the best players in the whole league last year. He's one that's likely to warm up as the season goes on, I would think.
He will. We're looking for him to catch fire. He's starting to put it together again.
Here goes the runner. Fly ball out to right field. Going to be playable. Runner will have to retreat back to second base.
Ooh.
Gets back in there. Trying to double him off. So Rose is out number 1. comes Gunnar McNeil from Stanton Braves, Florida International, his college.
First
He's
baseman,
from
Gunnar McNeil.
Florida. Now, Bruce, you've been associated with the Valley League since the turn of both centuries. So, you know, one wouldn't be enough. I had to say that twice, right?
1965 was my
Now,
start.
that's the year I guessed, and I was right. Line drive out
Oh,
to
wow.
shortstop, caught on the fly. That was tattooed by
Yes, it
McNeil.
was.
That's the kind of just knocks the hole right in your glove.
Wow.
Now, I'm sure you get this. I'm sure you get this a lot. 39 years. Okay, that's gonna be 49 years. 49 years. Okay. So you were signed on by the Rebels when you were 4 years old, correct?
No, that.
Oh, okay. My math
The
is terrible.
math doesn't work, Dave, but thank you.
How about you could have told me, oh, I was a cute bat boy at the age of 4, and you had your chance to play Jack Benny there. You didn't do it.
Well, my wife's listening. I cannot tell a lie.
She's a lie detector. Here comes Thomas Smith now. Now, when I started the exaggerations, my wife would just roll the eyes, leave the room, and then I know, okay, it's not going to work.
You said enough.
It happens often. And one pitch to Smith, a little breaking ball hit out toward right center. Good speed by Sané. Just as you would expect, he runs it down in right center field. So, you know, when the pitchers get to come in like this in a typical All-Star game, they know I'm going to probably pitch an inning, and that's it. So I want to come with my best stuff. And a lot of times in an at-bat, that first pitch might be the best one in the season.
Exactly right.
So All-Star games are notorious for rolling real fast, 3-2. And what I like is you get a guy who's a terrific player, an All-Star, didn't start the game. All-Star game MVP is always that guy that gets the big pinch hit in the eighth.
That's exactly right. Late in the game. Not going for starting.
I think that, for some of these players, it's really hard to judge which of these guys is going to make it as a pro, because even with the Turks, we've had a couple of players here who really were maybe the 5th or 6th best player when we were here, but then you have to get your mind around the fact, well, he was only 19.
Right.
And then he gets a chance as a pro. He's 22, and he's a man. Then he was a boy. One of them that comes to mind. We have a couple of pitchers that have had just average seasons here. But Asher Tolliver was a lefty who was in the Double-A with the Orioles. And he was probably 165 pounds soaking wet when he was here. And a couple of years later, he was throwing 97 miles an hour. And you're like, where did that come from?
But this, we have to understand, this is just starter development, and a small starter development. It's only a 44-game season, and if you're a pitcher, how many appearances do you actually make? So,
and a lot of times the guy isn't into his pro body, and he's also not into the niche or role that works for him. Some guys wouldn't admit to be a middle reliever, and no one's figured it out yet.
exactly right.
After a while, it takes the right person that says, you know what, the only thing you do is get left-handers out. And we're going to stop trying everything else and put you in that role in the middle of these games and put you in a position to succeed, because that's what coaching really is.
That's what coaching is, exactly right. Giving each player the opportunity to be successful.
Turkey polka here in the ballpark. They call it the chicken dance, but here in Turks country, it's the turkey polka, trust me.
And we've got people here in the stands that do it well.
Now, Whitney,
I try not to watch
on the
them.
second lead,
I've tried, but I'm afraid I've hurt myself.
Yeah, Hunter Newman's going to lead it off, and this young man is having a heck of a season. Trevecca Nazarene, and he's probably a good example of a kid that physically wasn't ready to be a Division I guy. He's at a smaller school, and now he's 6'3", 210. It'll flare out towards center, but cut off and caught by Thomas Smith for out number 1. And if you know I'm giving him such a good build-up here, the folks in Chapmansboro, Tennessee, and hopefully listening out there would have tuned in. He shouldn't have hit the first pitch there, regardless of what I just said about that being the best one. He's having a heck of a season. I like seeing the small guys. Brad Zabatis you talked about, and there's going to be Brad Zabatis from Strasburg is an MVP from a small school.
Right.
We had him here in the Valley League. But these guys are not ready at 18 when the draft time comes and all that. Doggone it by 20 if they're not terrific.
You better believe it. You better believe it. Newman had the game-winning home run against us a couple weeks ago.
He is very good. And there's not only Shell McLean is the hitter now. He's from Tennessee Wesley in Fort Mill, South Carolina.
He's another young man that can drive the baseball.
Got some pop. Got some pop. 5'10", 200. He's a guy that looks like a little running back kind of thing, but he's got some bump.
Putting that speed through the zone.
2 balls and 2 strikes to McLean. Front Royal has been a very balanced team offensively and pitching-wise. But for your Rebels, you guys overcame a slow start. We've kind of played 500 balls since then, but you guys got back into the mix. You're up to about 8 and 10 after an 0-6 start, if I recall.
Yeah, we started 0-7 actually, and got it back up to 8 and 10, then went into another 6-game slide. Just like I told the team yesterday, this is a marathon, not a sprint, and it's how you finish, not how you start.
3-2.
That's what's important. So.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's important when you've got a 25-man team, and a lot of times you're still figuring out who's who and what's what. And when teams play through hard to the finish line, this is a ground ball base hit to center field by Shell McLean, 1 on and 1 out. I think that you've had a championship season there. You know what they look like. It's hard to tell what teams have got it in them, but to me, it's the team with the last 4 or 5 guys who you need a play from at some point. You don't know what it is. It's when they stay involved and you end up getting that big play from an unexpected guy. It gets you through the playoff series. The unexpected is required.
That's exactly right, and you never know who it's going to be. And if I'm not mistaken, last year, didn't the 7th and 8th seeds make the championship round?
Waynesboro was the 8th. I want to say 8 and 6, but it was something like that.
Yeah, it was two of the lower seeds. So.
Yeah, the Turks kind of broke that string in 2012. They were the 3 and won it, and Winchester was the 1. The Turks beat them. But
yes.
Before that, boy, from about 06 until about 2011, I think maybe the 4 was the highest to win the playoffs.
I think you're exactly right.
It was Upset Central, which was a masterfully entertaining theater. Wasn't it?
Oh, great.
Because,
it was great.
I mean, the Turks have rolled up a heck of a lot of wins, and it's really struggled in the playoffs. And we look at our team and the pro prospects and all that, and we see, okay, well, this team's got a lot of small college players. But a lot of times, they've had all summer to gel. They haven't quit. There's all those little things that they're just Upset Central in the playoffs. There goes the runner. Throw down towards second.
Throw.
Very nice throw. McLean was out of there. Perfect throw. Thomas Smith with the catching tag. That's Anthony Payne again. And Payne didn't get as much muster on that throw, but boy, when you put it right there, you're going to get some guys out.
Indeed so. Never moved his glove. Slid right into it.
Breaking ball is high for a ball.
But what a nice crowd this evening, Dave.
Definitely is. Esteban Puerto is the hitter. Starting to cool down nicely. Never really got too hot today.
Couldn't ask for a better day.
Popped up the other line, and Thomas Smith, second baseman from the Turks, makes the call, shallow right center, and he makes the catch. So it's an unfair advantage when these pitchers can really just dial it up and go.
Yes, it is. Game moves a little faster than a regular season game, doesn't it?
He does. So as far as the Rebels go, what's new up there? I mean, the Rebels were one of those teams a few years ago. I had Jay Neal on earlier talking about how the weather, has wrecked their field. You guys had a similar situation where the stands got flipped over after a big storm up there at Rebel Park.
Yeah, that was 3 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, picked the bleachers up and deposited them on the third baseline. Yeah, that was an experience. But now they're cemented in, so we know they're not going anywhere.
We hope not. You guys have got a much smaller market than Harrisonburg with the new Charlottesville team coming in. In terms of let's just say that the Turks had advertising with 80% of the people in Harrisonburg. There wasn't enough space to put everything that you sold. New market, you're in a completely different situation. You literally have to get a higher level of the community involvement with a market as small as yours.
We do. We do, and we're very fortunate because we have people that have been supporting us for years and years and continue to do so. And we actually picked up 4 new sponsors this year, which added another, and I don't mind telling you, another $8,000 to $10,000 revenue for the organization.
Outstanding. I mean, and Newmarket, you guys have got that great reputation, like whether it's the Turks or Stanton or just the teams that have been around a long time. Your host families, your volunteers, and all of that. And you've been around since 1965, and you've had the good, the bad, and everything in between, the championship years, the lean years, and everything. It's a challenge, and I think that nobody's getting rich here, whether it's a nonprofit world. This is about the love of baseball and the environment that creates for these players.
That's exactly right. And I've had many players ask me, what can I do to thank you? And my response is the same. Give someone else a chance to live their dreams, to get the opportunity as you get older.
That's a good answer, because it definitely gets them thinking. Cole Gruber is the hitter now.
Is Cole Gruber the left fielder?
Jacob Anthony, the right-hander from Canton, Georgia, on the mound. Now next pitch is fouled off. He's from Georgia. Georgia College. 1-0 ball game. South got one in the top of the first, and that's been it. The pitchers have been dominating, as you always see, with fastball. Pitcher's trying to light up the gun here. Jacob Anthony trying to get it done. 6'2", 205.
Redeeming foul ball at the concession stand and receiving.
The Valley League All-Star Game has been one of those things where you definitely want to get the pictures and the autographs and all of that, because there's no question you're going to have some of these guys who are going to make it to the major leagues. And it's just the way it goes. You know, 50 or almost 60 players here in these 2 rosters. The best of the best in 2014.
I've got 2 All-Star bats with players in the major leagues in my collection.
I know Brett Gardner, of course, who has had a torridly great week, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
He's done it all, throwing guys out, hitting home runs.
He certainly has.
He's doing the Dale Carnegie. He's making friends and influencing people.
And we still communicate with him.
Gruber grounds out to second. Mata throws him out. Yeah, and for Brett Gardner, I was watching the off season, and some here in the Valley League, it's much easier to enjoy and pay attention to the off season when John Leonard, of all things Valley League, does such a great job from Africa,
right,
paying attention to these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of players. And you see a player finally got his second major league contract, and for the VDL this year, it was Daniel Murphy of the New York Mets and Brett Gardner of the New York Yankees. And I know they're both New York and New York. And boy, did they drop a few zeros on a piece of paper for those 2.
Oh boy, they did. Yeah, we're still waiting on our contribution from Brett.
I was only going to allude to that, but then again, you went ahead and said it. How about that? See, I walked you to the edge of the cliff and you jumped off.
Well, that's the first thing we ask them,
Well, that's the first thing you taught me in journalism school. Walk them to the edge and they'll jump. See?
You did well.
Yeah, I think that when you can do this game and play it well, and we're still at with these players, it's the love of the game part. But when they get nice and close and realize, this really can be my vocation, that's a neat thing too. Matt O'Neill just walked there on 4 pitches for Covington Lumberjacks.
The catcher, number 38, Juan Escara.
Here's Juan Escara now. Anthony struggling with his control a little bit here, and the big news in the offseason, just recently announced, but Charlottesville will be joining the league next year. I think that's a win. Here's a high fly ball to deep right field. Going to be playable and caught right there on the rolling track. Escara just missed it. And when you look at the giant flag out in center, it's one of the first times of the day that it hasn't been doing much. And it just picked up again. That's one that could have used another 5-10 miles an hour of wind to give it some oomph.
Yeah, he just got under it a little bit.
Had that good baseball audio that we like too.
At the plate is the shortstop, number 5, Blake Edwards.
Blake Edwards is the hitter now from the Covington Lumberjacks. And we're fortunate enough, you with Newmarket and me with the Harrisonburg Turks, we're very centrally located up here on Interstate 81. There's a pop-up straight up for out number 3. Bringing up, Covington and all these, it's really a challenge for those two clubs, and Covington in particular. We've seen them go to playing a lot of double headers and things like that. So each of the teams have its own individual challenges. Yours might be a small market, theirs might just be simple geography. But I think when the Valley League, people who are involved put their heads together, whether it's Commissioner Lennis, or you're going to join some in, or yourself, you can always come up with a solution that gets our games played in a situation where the team got a chance to showcase their play. And every summer, we have to get creative.
Well, there's a different set of circumstances every year, but I think the general managers or presidents of each organization, I think we want to work together and get these games very cooperative, very easy to get accomplished.
That's good, because in the end, for these players, it is about innings and at-bats. And for one guy that maybe didn't get enough innings in one particular year, he maybe didn't play as much as he thought he was going to, but if he made that great impression, he's the kid who's back next summer, brought reinforcements. The Turks have had that story like crazy. Georgia State, Wingate, Auburn, Wake Forest, you have guys that just go down there like a Pied Piper and say, you need to go play in the Valley League. And, you've got Newmarket Rebels who, 30, 40 years ago, and, they're still going to be Rebels forever, even though they spent 80 days in your world, and you made that kind of impression on them.
There were two gentlemen at the game last night in Newmarket that came up to me. One of them played in 1981 in Newmarket, the other one in 1984. And once they told me their names, I remembered them because I was doing the PA one.
I mean, it is amazing. The one thing I like to I'm a Navy guy. And those guys that you're in that immersive boot camp situation with, I can remember their voices and their look in their eye and all of their names. And I can remember all that because it's such an intense environment.
It is. Very competitive. They compete against each other, but they stand side by side to fight. They never forget each other.
Yeah, I think that's what it's all about. You're getting better as a player, but these guys make friendships that last a lifetime, regardless of what the standings and cheerleaders.
They do, and it doesn't matter what team they're on. They were in the Valley League the same summer. They remember that.
Anthony Payne going to lead it off from the Strasburg Express. Hit out towards shortstop for the first base in time. And Payne is Bruce, I want to thank you for joining us. The Newmarket Rebels, you guys are our kindred spirit here as Harrisonburg Turks fans, because you're one of those clubs that does it right. And we know it, we see it, and you guys are an asset to the Valley League. That we're proud to compete with you, win, lose, or draw, and that's a credit to who your organization is.
Thank you very much, Dave. We appreciate it. We're going to continue to do what we do.
Now, when you see Austin Gisrael, tell him Dave says hey, and that Mo Weber, if he's out on bail or something like that, he says, "Oh, he's
right
here
there on the
field
field road." Yeah, right down the field road.
Yeah, I mean,
91.
He's only 91.
Yep.
He was telling me that he coached his first baseball game well before there were ever lights. It was in the 40s. The first night baseball game had not been played yet, and he's coaching baseball.
Well, he coached Lou Gehrig's father in Little League, so that's how far back he goes. And that's what he'll tell you.
He coached the league camp that I went to when I was a little bit, 13 years.
Been doing it a long time.
That's with Bannock popping up there, and Mata will come up and swing that. Well, Bruce, the commissioner is here, and he's going to pull rank on you.
Good enough. He's the boss.
See, I'm
out of here.
Yeah, that or you're fired. You're out of here. You're out of here.
All right, thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you so much. And if you folks get a chance to take in a Valley League baseball game, I can think of one better place than Rebel Park. It's probably here at Eagle Field, because we're partial to that. But seriously, the view there at Rebel Park is just as Shenandoah Valley quintessential as can be, and there's a great baseball game right in front of you. Can't beat that.
We think not. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Bruce. I'm glad you led off with the first team. About 2 strikes to Mata. Stay on the field, man.
Okay.
Strike 3 ball. Fastball to Mata. Pops the girl.
No runs, no hits, no errors, and only left on base. Going to the top of the 6th.
1-0 ball game, and Don, this is a typical all-star game kind of thing where the pitchers they know they're only going to see 3 hitters, and they're making it count.
Yes, and I think, hitters don't have a chance to really, come up a second time against the same pitcher, so it's a little difficult. It's normally going to be a pitcher's ball game. The thing I worry about is it could be a pitcher's ball game all night. We might be here at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Have you formulated an exit strategy?
Well, the original instructions were we would play till there was a winner, but I can get a little nervous about that.
Yeah, I think that getting your at-bats and your innings and getting everybody in the game, that's one of the most important things that you want to make sure that you get done.
Actually, we would probably have to call it after 10 innings because there aren't any more runs.
Yeah, you don't want to burn people out, heading into the second half. Brock Hunter, the left-hander, is in the ballgame from Strasburg. He plays for the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina. And, now this is your 3rd season as commissioner, if I'm not mistaken.
Second is commissioner. Third is my first year as assistant to the president.
Right.
I think I can get my feet wet.
Sure, and it worked well. I mean, I think that the Valley League is something that needed another strong presence to be commissioner. And I think that with Charlottesville coming in, it's just sent a good vibe throughout the Valley League because it really speaks legitimacy to what we have here.
Well, I'll tell you what, Charlottesville is a first-class operation. Top-level people. Greg Allen, who's the president of the organization, is on the board of directors of the Houston Astros.
Nice. Anytime you've got people who've seen the top level and know what it takes to get there, it really permeates down here where we are. Pushed up right side, that'll get out of play. Near time. Elizabeth fans these days, they're more likely to shrink away from a foul ball than catch
Lynch instead of trying to catch it.
Yeah.
Can't say that, blame you.
That one would have left a mark, but hey, catch the ball.
Speaking of Charlottesville, their general manager, Joe Koshansky, who played first base for the Colorado Rockies and played for Stanton in the Valley League, just an incredible gentleman.
Well, and I was championing him as a guy who was going to go to the major leagues because of that bat. The ground ball out to second base and scooped up there first is not in time. What a dandy play out there at second base.
Very good play.
Stephen Kerr made a great backhanded play. He could not get him. You see the range and ability of this group here.
Jeff Burton over at Charlottesville is the third gentleman that really got things rolling. Jeff is a former UVA baseball player, and all 3 of those guys are former UVA baseball players.
Not a bad thing to be. Jimmy Kerrigan from Newmarket is the hitter now. Really, and I think that for Charlottesville, they kind of hit that UVA baseball market at its high water mark, and it's just a perfect storm for them.
Well, and I got to tell you, Coach Brian O'Connor was instrumental in this thing happening as well. Brian stepped up.
Former Harrison Miller Turk
helped him with everything, and I was with Brian at the press conference on Wednesday, and he is so excited, so supportive, and I'm sure there will be some ball games played at Davenport.
Well, I think it's a good fit, and I think the happy medium that what came to mind with me is, let's say that UVA has a season where they don't go as deep as they did all the way to the finals this year. But you can certainly say that maybe the second half is at least going to be played at that. If you play 11 home games there every year at a minimum, that would be awesome.
Well, that's down the road somewhere, but sure. I think there will be a couple series played there if it could be worked out. And Brian is all in favor of it. So if he's in favor of it, it probably will happen.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of weight there. Make it happen.
At the plate, number 42 from Pitt Brentford and Newmarket, Joe.
I am so excited, Dave, about our All-Star game this year. My hat is off to Teresa Weiss and Bob Weiss and all of their staff. They have just put on a wonderful first-class All-Star show. You couldn't ask for anything better than this.
Joe Chittister is the hitter now. Yeah, I think for the Turks, I worked with the Turks a little in the off season, and they were certainly making this a premier event.
Well, they do. Everything they do it right. Baseball is so important to them, and they want it to be top-notch all the time. The hours and the backbone labor that they put into this is just incredible.
Well, and I think with Teresa, Bob, and Matt, they think about one burning question. Chittister is out of there on strikes. There's one question every off-season: how can we be better? How can we be better? And it's always a challenge, an internal challenge, to make it a more inviting environment. You want to have a lot of advertisers. You want to have a lot of community involvement, and you just want it to be really a minor league baseball kind of environment.
I'll tell you, when I throw Adam tuning into that as well.
Yes.
Adam just really breaks his back for me to sell things and do things to raise money for the All-Star game, and just the whole organization. It's fantastic. And
Darian Carpenter up there now. Yeah, he's a real Pied Piper for the Turks. Fly ball out toward left field. Got that off the end of the bat. Well, that would have gone a long way. Carpenter's got some top there. Really hit it out off the end of the bat. This is still a 1-0 game. I think that being able to return to a 12-team league will be an interesting thing. But the Valley League's a struggle. One of the reasons I brought up the market size was Bruce Albert. Everyone's different. Everyone has their own set of struggles. I think that we're all in this together. The old Casa Nostra line, and this little thing of ours, we're all in this together. It's just one of those things where the last couple of franchises, what can we do to make them stronger? That's kind of a burning question in the background for all of us.
Well, I think the way any franchise gets stronger is, it's like any other sport. You win, you have attendance, you have support, you have advertisements, etc. So it kind of goes up and down with winners and losers. Obviously, we're not going to go to revenue sharing in the Valley League or anything like that. So, but there's a lot of parity in the league this year. I mean, you look at what's just happened in the last week, how the standings have changed, and I can tell you by the end of the year, there are going to be some people saying, "What do we do about this log jam?"
Yeah, you're right, because even you have so many teams that are 1 or 2 games away from each other, and jamming up the 3 through 7 spot. And when you boil it down to, hey, look how a couple of these ball games played out. I mean, Woodstock's a team with terrific pitching, but if you look at a bunch of their games, they're just a hit here and a hit there away from being a 500 team. But if you give me my choice, I'll take the top pitching team over a team that needs 8 runs every night.
Well, good pitching always beats good hitting, but in this league, I would say it's pretty balanced.
Nick Sine will lead things off. Right-hander on the hill is Jake Perkins from the Newmarket Rebels.
I saw Mr. Bowman stick his head in here. I'd like for you to have him on the air.
Porky's going to join us here. And first pitch hits Sine. Looks like he's all right. And Don, I'll have you on Turks baseball at least another time or two, because there's so much. There's a whole lot of chapters left in the 2014 season.
Hey, like I said, have the first team on.
They're good folks. We'll definitely have you on. It's been a great day here for the All-Star Meeting 2014.
Thank you, Dave. Pleasure being with you again.
You're welcome, sir. Sine gets a lead off of first there. Pitch is outside for a ball. Joe Giacono is up there from the University of Delaware. Someone wearing some Delaware Delaware stuff. Left-hand swinger is Giacomo, 6'175" from Westchester, Pennsylvania. Popped up third base side out of play, and our cavalcade of principal players here off the field continues as Kay Snyder joins us from the Stanton Braves. And decades and decades, we had Bruce Algeron, Kay, we've had all kinds of people.
You have been very busy.
Well, I wanted to stay busy. There's a lot of people to talk to, and we only get one game to do it. I think we need a doubleheader.
Not now. Not now.
Yeah, it was a little tired. I'm a little tired, but the players get so much. There's just not enough innings to get all these guys. It's a problem.
It's a busy 8 weeks. It really is.
Definitely, it's swung on and missed. And now the Braves this summer, you guys have got a team that just hits the cover off the ball and trying to kind of find its way pitching wise. But you guys are an exciting ball club to watch.
Well, thank you. We do have a good team this year. These young men are very talented, and I think all of them love baseball. They really enjoy playing baseball.
Well, and at this level, they're going to find out if they do or they don't, because a lot of them, it's not just about the talent. It's about, can I deal with the grind? And, am I up to the competition of this group here? Because it's got to
Of talented young men that have done well and gone on, and we just fortunate.
Now, Teresa Ruiz here, I've affectionately named her Mama Turk, and it's catching on, and you're Mama Brave, and, I'm not sure if they have a nickname for you or not, but the relationships that you've made over the years with not only the ball players, but the moms and the host families and all of that. When people think of Stanton summertime, they think of you and Boyd and the Stanton Braves, and how cool is that?
It's wonderful. All of the players, I don't know why, but somewhere along the way started calling me Miss K. And the parents call me Miss K. The people call me on the phone that I've never even spoken to before or heard about. And they say, you must be Miss K. So it's
Jerry Downs who struck out there.
It's amazing. It's amazing that you make so many relationships and so many friends, and they continue to get in touch with you. And so many of our players, they'll get married, and their host families will get invited to their weddings.
And you're talking about a 70-day window, and you made that kind of influence on people that they remember decades and decades.
And they invite them to come it's just amazing. It's just wonderful. It really, really is.
Definitely, and it really it keeps you going when it just warms your heart and you realize, well, this is about more than just the baseball and the game and all that, because you know when the brother of a player comes back, or in the case of the Turks, the son, Christopher Barr, is Jim Barr's son. Jim played for the Turks in '84. Christopher's here this summer. How cool a story.
Well, now we have Connor Short playing for us this year, and his father played for the Braves.
Nice.
Came to town a couple weeks ago and stayed a couple days and threw out the first pitch for us. And his son caught it, and he said it was wonderful.
Link the generations together. Hunter Newman is up there, and this kid here is one of the best players in the league, and from a small school, you never really know. To flare out to a center, taking on one hop on the shortstop there first on time. A typical kind of all-star game, and Kay, I mean, for the teams that have been at this for a long time, with the Turks and and all that, what's really the secret to the success summer after summer, connecting with your fan base and your players, if there is one?
Yeah, I think Stanton
is very fortunate that they love baseball. Stanton is baseball. We are very fortunate. We have people that have been coming to Braves baseball for 60 years. And if you sit in their seat, they'll tell you to move. That's where they're supposed to sit. So I think it's a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of time.
Sure.
But it's very rewarding. We're very blessed that we have. And it's just a lot of fun. Of course, Boyd and I have been in Stanton for years, and people know us, and they gave us a lot of fun.
Charlestown just signed with South Alabama. Austin Stevens.
Austin Stevens in the ball game. And Kay, you're always short on time, and it's been great to have you on. I think that the folks can get a listen. He's out there. He's involved in the Stanton Braves and the Woodstock River Bandits, the Newmarket Rebels. I've been thrilled to have everyone on. Corky Bowman from the Woodstock River Bandits is going to join us. Tell Boyd you had fun and that I don't bite up here. I just want to say hey.
I will certainly do that. I really appreciate the good work that you do.
I love the Valley League. The Turks are first and foremost in that statement, but I love me some Valley League baseball.
Well, thank you very much.
You are welcome. Enjoy the rest of the All-Star game, and we'll detach you from this apparatus here.
Yes, ma'am.
Corky, our Valley League family, we've come home to roost here today in Harrisonburg. The All-Star game is always
Number 17, Richie Riccardi.
Richie Riccardi going to lead things off here, and mentioned we have Austin Stevens on the hill for the Charlestown Cannons, but just a lot of people that you only see a time or two in the ballpark, and it's been good to have everyone come on and say hey.
This is unbelievable. I mean, teams that are represented, the fans, it's a great atmosphere.
Sidearm fastball grounded out to second, 2 big hops. The first is in time. So a 1-1 ball game, and from what Commissioner was saying, it's like 1-1. You're like, oh boy, how long is this thing gonna go? Because a lot of people came from a good distance. The pitchers are having their say.
Yeah, I just told my wife, I said, let's get the knife pad and call it tie, and everybody goes home safe.
There's Kildfleisch now. Sidearm fastball. Tough matchup for a sidearm lefty against a left-hand hitter. This is a good matchup here. Stevens was with the Turks briefly last playoffs. Foul back. Now, you guys have had a season up there in Woodstock where you get people out, but there's so many ball games. You guys go deep in the game to watch your box score, and you're just a hit or a play short. There's literally been 10 or 11 of your box scores that hinge on one run. It's amazing.
It's been the story of the season, but I had a meeting with the guys yesterday, and just explained to them that we were still committed to them. And second half of the season, new season started for us last night. So we'll see how it shakes out. But you're exactly right.
I think that the ground ball base hit the left field. That's what Kildfleisch does. He is not a home run hitter. He's in the home run contest, and and didn't do well in that. His game is exactly what you see right there. Slash the ball the other way.
Find a hole.
Yeah, find a hole. And you keep finding holes, and they keep finding you.
That's right. And it's that's kind of what's happened with us the first part of the season. We didn't need to find those holes yet. We hit the ball hard, but we haven't found the holes yet.
Now, Coach Betterly was the Valley League Coach of the Year last year. You guys had a solid start to last season in particular. And you guys were in second round playoffs last year, right?
The first round.
Yeah, okay. Okay. But you guys have had some decent success, and you have some pros in your past as well. Blake Cody and Garza, I think guys that can play a little.
Brandon Beachy.
Yeah, Beachy, of course, major leaguer.
And we were checking just last night. Matt Hockenberry from Temple got drafted by the Phillies this year, and Michael Edgerton by the Braves. Michael's hitting, I mean, he's in a slump now, but he's hitting 404.
Nice.
For Danville.
Brandon Gold from the Turks is a hitter now.
Yeah, it's been a different season. I'll put it that way.
Stevens to go in there for a strike. The prevailing trend that some of our other guests have alluded to is that, boy, is it a clean slate in the playoffs.
Oh.
We had Covington and Rockbridge in the finals a couple of years ago, and that was a 6 versus 8, something like that. So you can just preach that story because it's so true. You can get to the point, you're 38 games in and say, there are teams that were right where we are right now that won the whole thing. And it happened this year, and this year, and this year, and this year. The favorites have been served some very humble pie in the Valley League playoffs.
We're a prime example. Last year, got off that great start. And I told Phil before the season, one of our goals was to, of course, win the championship, but in the 10 years, we hadn't had anybody to coach an all-star team.
Right.
So with our start last year, Phil was able to coach an all-star team, and we had 7 players representing us.
Yeah, and the Turks have a big number this year. I mean, it's you have your high cotton times like that.
Yeah,
another good player I remember from you guys, Chris Davinsky, nice right-hand pitcher, Cal State Fullerton, I think.
Yes.
I was really impressed with him. He must not hear that long. Man, he can really chuck it.
No, Chris was another one that came out of California and really produced for us. And we've had a lot of good players out of California come in.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Brandon Gold. His teammate Kelflesh leads from first. And low for the ball, so a good hard-fought walk, and get a trio of Turks here. Billy Roach is going to come up there now. And Joey is the catcher for the South here, coming off the bench. And I think that catching has been a position where I think the North is a lot stronger at catching, but really haven't seen a shut down the running game catcher in the Valley League in a few years. We did see a couple good throws from Anthony Payne earlier in this game, but that's been the exception, not the rule.
I believe you spoke of that earlier, that we haven't had that.
Chopper up the middle, could be 2, and it is 2. 1 pitch and a double throw. How about that?
We operate. So they don't have to. We don't want to hurt. We want the kids to go home, experience and healthy.
Can't wear them down, yeah. And the Turks had 2 catchers a couple of seasons ago, and doggone it, didn't light them into nowhere because we had A.J. Murray from Georgia Tech. He not only was injured, he had such an internal injury where he had to leave immediately. It was like 3 days before the playoffs, and had to pick up. And ironically, it was Keaton Mead who was in earlier for Fred Royal. And in the bylaws, is there something that says you can do that? But you're so right that catcher is not a position you want to A, hurt someone, or B, get caught short of that position.
Several years ago, we had Sean Lambert from Memphis. Sean was over here in Memphis that spring. King Phil
While you're standing up, reach in your pocket, pull out your 50 tickets.
My knees hurt just thinking about that.
As an organization, we said, we will not do this. The players, we're not going to do this. We'll recruit free cashers. You know, then you bank on them being able to play.
Something designated hitter or something like that. You're trying to be creative. And that's where players and teammates, they gotta understand that, you're not gonna play every day. There's gotta be an agreement where the last thing we need is a couple players sulking, because that could ruin the whole mood. And a lot of times it's their teammates who will tell them in a not so gracious way to knock it off.
And that's what you get, and you've got to understand that it is 44 games, and it's a long time. It's a long season.
Logan Hogarth is up there now. Tell us a little bit about Logan.
Logan is a really fine person from Boston College. He's fit into the organization. When Phil recruits, the only suggestion I give to him is get good people in here.
Grounded out towards shortstop, digging it out, and throw is low. Hogarth's going to keep on digging. He'll reach second. He'll throw second at the same time. Wow, what a great backup play. Run down there. A seat of the play by Billy Roach. Roach from the Turks threw a aspirin tablet down to second, and he guns down Hogarth. So had him all the way.
Yeah, he was tough. But Logan's been good with us, and he's a good person and a good ball player, so he's fit into the town really well.
Yeah, the point of getting a good guy first is, in sports, the higher you go in, the less the value on good guy means a darn thing. Because the last time I checked, Barry Bonds and Manny Ramirez, not exactly the greatest. They're not going to be canonized anytime soon.
Right.
But they can hit a baseball a very long way.
You go through the summer, you get to know the kids.
Top foul, right side, out of play.
And these are short foul balls to the concession stand.
Some of these guys realize
compliments of City Motors Company.
Their college career is what's going to be. And then some of them's got aspirations. I guess they all have aspirations to go on the next level, but these guys realize.
Missed by Spencer Wolf. Kevin Llewellyn is on the mound for the Turks. Soft throwing lefty. He reminds me a lot of Brad Mills, swung on and missed. Kevin Llewellyn reminds me of Brad Mills, and recently he's the pitcher who got a lot of press for being traded for $1.
$1.
And that sounds embarrassing, but when you get traded from a team that was not going to bring you to the majors to a team who wants you and wants you to start right away,
exactly.
You don't care how much money traded hands, you're back in the major leagues.
Hey, you're looking for that shot, whether it costs $1 or
Hey, and that's right.
$1 million.
Pitch missed inside. Is Matt Gandy. He was an all-star with Covington last year. Now he plays for the Charlestown Cannons, right on the outside corner.
That's another neat thing about the value. You might have a player play with you this year, and then you release them and they sign with another team. And it's all about the kids.
Chopped out second. I remember last year the Turks had Mike Gilbert in the infield, and we were absolutely stacked loaded into the house in the infield. Mostly with returning players. The guy was second team ACC, all that kind of stuff. And Coach Lee was brutally honest, sent Mike Gilbert to the Covington Lumberjacks for nothing. Wasn't a trade. Here he is. Mike Gilbert was an all-star for the Covington Lumberjacks. He was not going to play here. He did the Jacks a solid. He got a good player. He did Mike Gilbert a solid. He got the at-bats and the time in the field they needed.
And it shows that college program that what we're about in the Valley is college program.
Yeah, and it goes from not burning out a catcher to giving a guy a chance to play. And I think that the more all of us realize that we're trying to be the foundation under the house, but make no mistake, the kids are the house.
Foul means anything we do in this league is for the kids.
The relationships that of your old river band or two come back, and the guy Craig Warren, your announcer, the relationships he's got with the players and Coach Beverly and in the community and all of that. They're not built by burning people.
No, this is my involvement in the River Band started with Stu Richmond and the head coach of Winchester. He started the franchise, and he was my senior government teacher. So when he came back to start the franchise, he asked a bunch of.
What is it about government teachers? They sure on the sticks and
I tell you, if it wouldn't be for him, I wouldn't have graduated.
There's never been a class, I just brought that up, there's never been a class that I loved and hated so much as government. Especially now that I see what it really is.
Yeah, we often teach too about, we always called it welcome back cotton. That's kind of the way it was.
Well, Ron Epstein and the whole group. Lucas Mold, the righty from Winchester, is on. He's from Alabama, Huntsville. Little guy, 5'6", 650-pounder from Athens, Alabama. So he can get the job done. Remember the little kid from 2 seasons ago, Leo Rojas from the Winchester Royals.
Oh,
what a player!
Phenomenal.
And just a little mighty mouse of a player. You see, he was probably 5'7" and 165 pounds, and he get up there and hit the ball 390 feet. He was amazing.
It was just, I guess baseball is, size doesn't matter.
Oh, and from the last year at Luray, Robbie Campbell in South Alabama.
Right.
Another teeny little guy, and you look up there, like, is he really hitting 360? Yeah, he is.
Well, what's the young man's name from
Covington. Covington's got a little 5'2" guy who, unfortunately for him, he got 9 hits in 3 games right after the cutoff date for the All-Star game, and it's just bad timing for him because as of the 29th, he was just off the team. Then he drops 9 hits in the next 3 games, and then you look at the numbers a few days later, and you're like, how's this guy not there? But you have to have a cutoff.
Right.
So,
And it just goes to show you the size in baseball is a small, no pun intended, it's a small thing.
Yeah, if you can play, you can play. And these are Covington Lumberjack, one of his teammates right here. He's Blake Edwards at the plate right now. Pitch missed outside. What is your baseball background? Is that an essay question?
Yeah, Little League. I was more of a football player in high school.
Line drive base hit by Edwards out to the left center gap. He's got some speed. He juggled out there briefly, but he was going to have 2 all the way. He turned the corner double. And the South is in business here at the top of the 8th.
We would always go to Newmarket. We were Rebels fans.
I'll forgive you for that. Mike Marcinko come up here and have games for us.
The old stadium, Memorial Stadium.
Do you remember when Greece maybe had more air? And
Oh yeah, first night I go back away, so yeah.
breaking ball in there for a strike. I think the reason they keep Mo Weber around in Newmarket is he makes everyone else look young.
Mo's here tonight.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's amazing. If you don't like Mo, you're a grumpy person. That's all there is to it. Next pitch missed outside. Big spot here for the South.
Yeah, we were talking, first night we were talking last night about some of the old players that my son was going to camp. They were at camp, and he was telling me about some of what they're doing now.
Yeah, baseball from the instruction side has just blown up. And when I was a kid, I probably about the same age. I don't remember. I mean, I played 3 sports. In baseball, when I put the bat and the glove down, I didn't pick it up again. I didn't pick it up until it's time to get on to something else.
Now it's almost year-round.
Yeah, and the things are starting to swing back with the college coaches where they want to see more rounded athletes than just the baseball specialists. So, there's different schools of thought.
Kenny Lambiot played basketball and for Central, great athlete. He came back, he played at William & Mary and played for a short time with Philadelphia Eagles. He came back and spoke to the kids. He said, play whatever you want to.
Good walk by Marcinko.
You just play as many sports as you can because that's what people are looking for. You're a well-rounded athlete.
Well, I think the contact sports, baseball can be a contact sport on certain plays only. But I think the toughness that's developed is something that comes in that's just valuable for a baseball diamond in ways you don't always see.
Oh, by all means. No true words are spoken.
Good looking breaking ball in there for a strike. Not sure what that hit can be a foul ball. Well, Lucas Mole's got a good looking curveball. An 0-2 hole, a couple of runners on here. Good spot to the south. In a traditional game, this is certainly a bunting situation, but I'm glad here in the All-Star format, you're going to give their guys a chance to hack.
Yeah. You know, I think the Major League scouts that are here tonight they're seeing some good baseball.
The pitchers are trying to light it up for him. We always know that. Fastball fouled off right side. We had a very entertaining home run contest, and that got the crowd energized. And I'm glad because you're usually not going to get a lot of runs in the game itself. That seems to be the trend. So you got to have different layers of entertainment.
It was fun to see the teammates rooting on they might not be their teammates in the regular season, but they're teammates tonight, and they're rooting them on. And
the college players now have gotten so incredibly creative on the things that they'll do in the dugout. Fastball, swung on and missed. Good job by Molds. And a big out for North. Jimmy Kerrigan will get a big spot at bat here from the Temple Owls. He's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, so he stayed in his hometown. City of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Got an interesting player from Penn a couple of years ago, Voiro.
Derek Vagoa.
Derek Vagoa, exactly. Voiro's your good right-hand pitcher.
Right.
Derek Vagoa, I remember speaking with his father. Derek was a good kid that started from his freshman year at Penn. Nice fielder from day one. A great kid to work with.
He is. We had some Florida fans pass away, and Derek has always come back to honor them. And Derek's just, you don't get too many kids like that.
Well, I think that a lot of apples don't fall from the tree. And I think that I remember speaking to his dad a few times. I'm one of those crazy people who get out there and try and sink in when I'm not making a big deal about, hey, I'm from the Turks. I try and do it in a different way. We're to talk to people off to the side and, get people more in genuine situations. And I remember speaking with Derek's dad a couple times, and you're like, I guarantee you that kid is on a solid foundation as you want your kid to be, and you just reinforce what I believe there.
His mom and dad, they would come up for 2 weeks and just really get involved. Whatever we needed done, they were there to help us. You hate to see those type of families not be able to come together.
Well, how many times whether it's your Facebook friends or whatever it might be, the people that stay connected to you years and years after their kid is no longer with your team. That's neat stuff. Charles Cantrell, the right-hander from North Carolina A&T, who's from Cerritos, California. He's a new pitcher in the game from the Winchester Royals. Those pitchers for Winchester, you better keep the balls in the
Yes.
That part there, the Turks of Winchester had a football score kind of game 13-7 the other night. And, boy, not only is it small, there's nights where it just leaps out of the park.
Yeah, it can stay in the park anywhere else, but Winchester is going.
You know that going in. And when you look back at some of the history of the Valley League, back in the days when it was an aluminum bat league, and Winchester is one of those teams that they joined the Valley League and probably won 5 titles in a row. Can you imagine aluminum bats up there in that ballpark?
There was a gentleman who Baptist Valley League, and the first group of teams to use the Valley League was like 1938.
Yeah, it's very old. Yeah, the Turks go back to 1922, and I don't know the Turks. There was since independent ball years and all of that. If you don't, it's one of those things. If you don't have a timeline in front of you,
all of your guesses will be wrong. So, you know.
But it was pretty neat. Winchester, Woodstock, Edinburgh, and Mount Jackson were the first to use
Once
it
the
out of
banner
the
is
band.
you're right.
And it was Woodstock and Winchester and Edinburgh in the championship. Edinburgh forfeited because Winchester wouldn't pay the expenses down there. Can you imagine that happening?
That is just a typical hilarious Valley story right there. Cantrell deals, and there for a strike. Charles Cantrell, and that's a Harrisonburg name right there, Cantrell.
Cantrell Avenue.
So Jimmy Kerrigan from Newmarket has a very nice RBI chance here to break open this 1-1 tie. Just missed on the outside. I'm one of those people that I love baseball at every level, and whether it's the younger guys and how they develop and get along with each other, and how the coaches, those coaches play at every level such an important male role model part, and then in the softball side, you know, role models to their players. It's an important role that even they don't realize it until years later sometimes when a player comes back and they see what kind of person they are or whatever. There's so many layers to that. I mean, I find all of it interesting.
Coach Weiss is a prime example. Do you realize how many ball players he has mentored in his career?
Oh, just a lot. When you look at the Harrisonburg Turks site and all the connections, it's endless, and it's really not even as up to date as it could be.
That's what we discuss a lot with, when we meet with the coaches, and they'll hear a player having some problems, family member sick or whatever. And early on, we developed family first.
1-2 pitch. There goes the runner. Fly ball out towards center field, and the runners will have to retreat. Called out there in center. It is still Nick Simay in center field, so playing pretty deep into the ballgame for the North. And here comes Chittister, Joe Chittister, and he is by no means a small baseball player, 6'3" and 260 from Ridgeway, Pennsylvania. And when he gets a hold of one, wow.
Joe stole a base from us last night.
Please finish the story.
No,
he just took off and did it, huh?
He stole, but
he's huge.
He is a big man.
Swung on in this. He getting his. I believe this is his second act out of the game here. And here in the Valley League, he's wearing number 42. This isn't MLB. You can wear 42. He would love someday to get in a situation where someone forbids him from wearing 42.
Exactly.
Because guess what? You're playing for a paycheck, son. The 1 pitch. There goes the runner, and the throw is in the left field. He'll pop right up and falls down. Road to the plate is late, but they might still get him. Slides in there. He ends up running on the play, still on the third base. Kind of a comedy of errors type play. Fell down, but got back up. Terrific base coaching there. Rick Edwards scores. Dive and steal third. Good throw to let it have him. Throw goes in the left field. Hops up after a head first slide. Promptly falls down and still gets up and scores.
That is just every kid in the park should. That's no quit.
Yeah, absolutely no quit. Run through the wall with the go-ahead run. 1-1 pitch to Chittister is outside. You never know, and there's just been so many games that swing on a play here and there, and the Bandits have absolutely been used to it this year. I always watch the way close games end. Aldi and Woodstock, boy, have you guys had wacky seasons.
That's the old Bandits. After yesterday, the new Bandits.
The new Bandits. The new. That's right. We didn't put the bandana mask on right. Let's get back out on the water and start doing some bandit work here again.
This has just been a crazy year. It's
the Turks. Turks have had a very good season. They're in first place. Swung on in this 3-2 with Chittister. But the Turks at I think 23 games in, the Turks had already surpassed last year's total for errors. Just kicked it around the first 10 or 12 games, and for most of us here in Turks Nation, we were just kind of blank staring at each other for the first 7 or 8 games, like, what in the heck is going on? And we've got a lot of guys who've really started to figure it out all at the same time. Good walk by Joe Chester.
He worked that count.
Yes, he did. Here comes another rebel. This is Darian Carpenter. He nearly hit one out his last time out. And he's another that stayed home. VCU is his university, and he's a Richmond, Virginia native, 6'1", 220. Popped up a mile high. He was looking for that first pitch fastball to hit one out of here. Instead, he's out number 3, but the South comes up with a go-ahead run. The prevailing theme, you're my last guest of the night. We've had a variety of Valley League guests, and unless everyone just huddled up earlier and said, well, let's just go in there and paint a false picture to that guy and have him on. You guys really love what you're doing, and your connection with these players summer after summer is the reason why.
That's what we do. Where I get frustrated if you're the same number about 2 weeks because everybody's back in school, you're not going to the ballpark. So about 2 weeks later, about a month after the season, we start working on next year.
Yep.
So,
yep. And with so much roster turnover, I brought it up earlier that, the major leagues and all that, you might have 5, 6 new faces in your 40-man roster, let alone your 25-man roster. But we're lucky to have 4 or 5 players back. And everything else is who you got, where are they coming from, and then you figure out, when I pick up the phone, who do I trust on the other end to tell me what I'm going to get? And
that's the big thing, is who you can trust. And, like Coach Weiss, he's got his core group of schools he recruits.
Yeah, and really some of those relationships have been 20 years coming.
From past players.
Yeah, from past players and past coaches.
And it's one thing about the Valley League. The recruiting Valley League, I really believe I thought being a policeman you had to be connected to this networking. But being a baseball coach is all about networking. Who you know, who can give you this, who can give you position players.
And when are you at a point where you say, okay, well, heavy on this and light on this? It's always a dance.
It's a gamble. Everybody can do it.
Yeah, and I think that you mentioned one of the key things of the successful franchises, and that means success more than just a win-1 loss record. The successful franchises are let's get the person first, and the good ball player part is part 1A.
Right. You don't want to bring, not that there are any bad kids, but there's some better than others.
LaSalle Explorers on the Strasburg Express. Kevin Barron.
You want to come in and jail right away and get it done.
Kevin Barron will lead it off from Strasburg. Bottom of the 8th, 2-1 game South on top. Pop foul, right side, out of play. And I sung the blues about this earlier. Please, boys, do not go to the orange and green camo unis at any point in the Woodstock. Look what we have on the hill. And then
we learned a lesson this year. We have the orange warm-ups, and we put the camo name and letters on the back, and that is horrible to try to see who's out there.
Oh my goodness!
They look good.
Yeah,
the kids love them.
Yeah, the kids love them, but at there's some point where you've got to put the capital letter no.
We'll wait and see what University of Miami does.
Yeah, you guys look a lot like Miami.
It's when Stu
swung on and missed all the way back to the backstop on such a wild pitch and thrown out for the strikeout. Is that where the colors came from when Stu found the team? The U.
Yeah.
We've got Christopher Barr from the U when the Turks is here. I didn't think it was Howard Johnson. The shade of green a little bit different.
From Charlestown, number 6, Stephen Kerr, Florida Atlantic Owls.
So Stephen Kerr now. Same pitch there, low and outside to the backstop. So I think it's a case of a guy trying to hit a number on the gun, getting a little juiced up there.
Yeah, it's funny to watch this
scouts.
Zach Williamson from Nebraska, Omaha. Boy, is he prototypical, 6'4", 235, and when he finds the strike zone, he's got that kind of explosive fastball. Omaha, Nebraska. A lot of guys are living and staying in their hometown to play. Slider in there for a strike. You see that a lot with small schools, D3 and stuff like that, but very little D3 going on in the Valley League, and actually a lot more teams are swinging more D1 players summer after summer. Slider outside.
We have recruited a lot in the past years from the Masters College out in California, or NAIs. And when we found those kids have gone to a bigger school and they don't want that big school atmosphere, so they
Also down there.
Well, a lot of those guys find themselves in a position player or pitching logjam, and they're like, where can I go while I'm still young with eligibility and make an impact somewhere?
So you got to kind of pick and choose what NAI or D3 program. Look at what's the boy's name from Bridgewater last year that pitched with Waynesboro.
Yeah, Corey Armentrout.
That won the championship.
Yeah, Corey's an exception. If you get an exceptional player, go to first by goal is not in time. We'd have had him anyway right there. High chopper on the play.
And the catcher right down there in the back of the throw.
Yeah, that's just how he is. Joey Roach is that kind of way for the Turks.
Center fielder, Nick
That's Nick Sine. Sine, I believe, getting his fourth at-bat of the ball game. That's rare in an all-star game to get that many at-bats.
I don't know if he made the catch at Woodstock the other night, last time they were there, but he made an effort. He was laid out.
Yeah, he's got big speed. He's fun to watch. Center field is a position of strength in the Valley League, summer after summer. It really is. Hopped up left side and now get out of play. We've had some good ones. The Turks have Thomas Spitz in center field this year, and he truly is a five-tool player. And I think Jay Gonzalez for the Turks a few years back, he's playing minor league baseball. A lot of speed, and I think with Coach Weiss, you look at the size of this ballpark and you're like, let me put a mediocre athlete in center. No. You need a jackrabbit out there. I think Nick Sine, he fits the bill for Front Royal.
Our center fielder this year, Will Malbon, is just...
Roach's throw to second is not in time. So a big stolen base for the North. Trying to get this go-ahead run one out.
He's a hustler. But we've, the last 10 years, 11 years now, we've been blessed with smart center fielder. It's, forget Chris Joseph.
Fastball missed inside. Yeah, up the middle. It's almost one of those things where when you really love what you have up the middle, especially that bump in the middle, when you really love that, the rest of it falls into place.
Exactly. In our places, we've got that short center field, and you need somebody with a little range and.
For a strike, good pitch. I think that with a field with strange dimensions like yours, you almost need to get your center fielder out there and have some immersion training. There's a lot that you think about a baseball field that you need to leave it over there.
Exactly.
Because our field is different. You have a baseball diamond that's kind of laid in a 45-degree angle configuration onto a football field. Right. Is that a correct?
Our outfield is the football field, so that's a good.
And there's some fields you got to give it a poke. The dead left, for instance.
But I've seen more home runs. Guys come in and see that short porch and center field, and their eyes just they get big. But probably over the years, 10 home runs I've seen hit dead center field. They've all been at the alleys.
Yeah, and Matt Rose hit one for the Turks here. He's gonna put a clap of thunder on a few wherever the ballpark is. Williamson Diaz chopped down toward first. Big second hop played nicely into the bag for an all-important out number 2. Arian Carpenter on the play for Newmarket. But as far as the pitching change here, as far as the Bandits go, what team's been the most fun for you as far as
what teams has been the most fun? That question is kind of open-ended. Was it a couple of players that were
I think every year you always have a couple of players that bring a little spark and it's fun to do.
Yeah.
You know, and it makes the season a lot better. Tanner Layton was the one that
Great player, yeah.
hustled everywhere he went. He came up to the top of the hill one night and sat down and he read the results. I said, Tanner, what's up? This is my 100th game. But the next night, he was back out there doing it again. So, most of all the teams have been fun. I guess last year with the good start, that was a lot of fun. But you know, this team we have this year is a great bunch of kids. But we just, you know, the new bandits started last night, so we'll see what it takes.
There you go, and that's Winsboro last year. I believe they were 14 and 20 at one point, and they ended up 22 and 22. They were the hot team going to the playoffs. They were continuing it on. And so there's no direct route formula. The last team to go, we were trying to figure it out. The last team to win both, the pennant and the Jim Lally Trophy was in the middle 90s. Wow. And the last number one seed to make the finals was Winchester 2 years ago. But before that, there was a 6-year gap before 2012, all the way back to like 2006, where the 1 seed made it to the finals. I think it's great. It just shows the parity in the. I think it shows that these coaches look at their guys and say, we're not done. There's another, the slate just cleared for us, and we're going to have a 10-day window to show guys that our summer is about to get fun.
But I told Phil, again, I said, I don't care how we get in the playoffs, let's be playing our best baseball in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Joe Giacchino is the hitter now. Garrett Ford in the ball game for the Turks. Breaking ball in there for a strike. This kid Ford is in his 2nd year with the Turks, and he's not a hard thrower, but he does everything else right. He's just a pitcher. Swung on and missed. He knows how to miss bats. It's not fancy, and I think that if he were a couple miles an hour faster, he was not tamed by the grace of God already. But he just does a lot of things right. 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. How about that?
That was unbelievable.
That's a guy coming out of the bullpen with a fire extinguisher right there.
I bet you topped out maybe 75.
Yeah, and then he will take a risk on the corner with strike one. Maybe here's my 83-mile-an-hour fastball on the corner. And if you take it to strike one, you'll be done before you realize it, because you're not going to get anything but nibbles the rest of the at-bat. And some guys are throwers, some guys are pitchers. And Garrett Ford, I'm so impressed with him.
8190.
He's definitely been a guy that, I mean, a lot of times these guys aren't blessed with big time arm speed, and they have to figure it out at a younger age. When you look at a pitcher like him, he was a finesse lefty in high school. You know, I threw harder than 83 in high school, but he's the guy playing big time college baseball, and I never did. So he just figured out what he needed to be. Part of that is being lefty.
Oh, you had it right by the grace of God. You started out being lefty.
Well, I mean, I remember that Jesse Orozco, I think he pitched for the 57 Brooklyn Dodgers, and he just pitched for Jesse Orozco, the lefty, was a reliever in the major leagues for like 23 seasons, and all he did was get lefties out again and again and again.
It's like a long snapper in
oh
football.
My goodness! Wow, long snapper did one hell of a job.
You have one job, go out and do it.
Still not as good as Weatherman. Baseball, I'm right 3 times out of 10. I go to the Hall of Fame. Weatherman, I'm right 3 times out of 10, and I keep my job somehow.
You get the big contract.
Unbelievable.
Submarine pitcher for.
Yes, this submariner there. It's Evan Bickett from Indiana University Southeast. I always call that a compass college. Get out your compass. But he's from Shepherdsville, Kentucky. 6'1", 195.
I guess it's been the biggest thing for me to. You know, you always hear of the hard ones, the dudes, UCLA. But have you ever heard
Ave Maria.
No, we've had players from Ave Maria the last couple of years. I'm like, Phil, where are they at? Well, we had Ryan Chapman from Rio Grande University. I'm like, that's got to be in Texas. He's like, no, it's in Ohio. I was like, what the heck? I was like, I know the river goes on for a long ways, but Ohio?
You know, you hear of new schools every year, and it's like,
And at the plates,
wow.
Richie Riccardi.
Lefty-righty matchup here. Richie Riccardi against Evan Bickett. 2-1 ball game. South trying to add to that lead here in the top of the ninth. In a pitcher-dominated game, really the miscue throwing error allowed run number 2 to score for the South. Yeah, I'm definitely with you on one thing, Corky. Once the baseball season's over, it feels like purgatory.
Yeah.
For quite a while.
Oh,
Shot out to a second. Barehanded throw to first is in time. Wow. What an attempt at a play there. Unbelievable. Ball hit off the mound out to second base. Stephen Kerr from Charlestown barehanded it, got rid of it while he was in the air because he had to, and he nearly got him. Would have been red gem times 10.
Left fielder, Eric Kelfleisch.
Here comes Kelfleisch now, banged a base hit to left field his last time up. Submariner to Kelfleisch is a nice matchup. I think he'll hit this guy outside for a ball. You know, when you see your own players, I mean, you see how a guy throws, and you know your players, and you can just see, well, that's a matchup for his swing.
he is really disciplined at the plate.
Chopped foul, and off the catcher's glove there. We're going to call catcher's interference, I believe, yeah. Kelfleisch not happy. Catcher's interference will send him down. I mean, he was trying to put a late swing on it, but when the end of your bat's in the catcher's glove, that's not good. For catcher's interference, the old CI in the scorebook. Here comes Brandon Gold. He got Gandy behind the plate. He's just reaching out, trying to get that thing before it gets poked in the left field, maybe.
Third baseman, Brandon
Awful
Gold.
dangerous for the catcher. Smack with that bat on the back of the hand.
You know, a lot of guys have the big follow-through now. I mean, first pitch to Brandon Gold in there for a ball. Our Manny Machado from my Orioles, he's serving a suspension right now for some shenanigans with the bat. Swung on.
Oh, he didn't throw that bat.
Okay. and I love my Orioles, but let's be real. And water's not wet. It's good thing he's a baseball player. He's a terrible actor.
Yeah.
1-1 pitch is low for a ball. Nice, cool night with a gentle breeze. We had a real kicking wind earlier today. 2-1 big frisbee curveball.
It's a beautiful night for baseball. It's not so hot.
Yes, it is. Now, you guys, you have a rain makeup tomorrow like the rest of us?
Yes. Strasburg.
Okay. They've had a challenging season, and the chopper out towards second base. Taken, steps on the bag, throw to first, is in time. What a quality double play. Put it right there.
Yeah, keep telling.
Sean McLean on it. Yeah, actually, that was Kevin Barron at shortstop. You got 2 number 10s on this roster.
I keep telling Jay when they were going through that, it's only a test.
Well, Jay made the point to say we absolutely appreciate Woodstock and Newmarket. It's like you know what kind of people you are quote unquote in business with when they're hit with a wild card situation, and and the phone rings, you don't have to reach for the phone.
That's what people need to do. Not just because we did it, but if you're in trouble and I can help you, we need to do that.
Yeah, I think that baseball has been called the game of failure and how you deal with it. Mm-hmm. So it's a game that in the course of a game, you could look at a chance and look at a chump in the course of a couple of at-bats. And you'll go through stretches where you're doing really poorly, can't win close games like your club has.
but it's not going to be the final chapter of the story unless you read it.
Right.
So that's so true. You always see the shirt that says baseball is life. And I can never argue with that simple statement because it's so similar.
It is, but telling Jay that it's a test that they're being put through now. How they could overcome that, whether you pass that test or fail that test, And baseball is a lot like life. You're given a situation, and what are you going to do? How you do? Are you going to react?
And I think from a coaching standpoint, the most valuable thing I always got from my coaches, you always hear these horror stories of a league where kids, they're not even keeping score, and everybody gets a participation trophy and all this nonsense. What I got from my coaches was when you won, they told you how to be a good sport about winning. When you lost, they told you how to be a good sport about losing and why you lost. You got to learn on both sides of the ledger, and those are skills that are valuable in the business world, valuable in relationships. And it's a very second baseball game just turned into a whole lot more.
We had a situation with Strasburg playing at Central at Woodstock. They were the home team, and we were visitors. And each team provides a post-game meal. Butch Barnes, director of baseball operations for Strasburg, said, I'm buying both teams dinner, and they will eat together. The interaction, they talk to them. I might play against you tonight, but I'm going to sit down and eat dinner with you.
Yeah, it's a straight up do unto others. It really is. It absolutely is. Joey Roach is going to swing for the Turks now. 2 outs and a good insurance run on third for the South. Reese Corrales, the right-hander, deals strike on the outside corner. Roach is another of the returning Turks. He's popped in a couple of home runs this summer. Hasn't hit for a high average yet. Plays some pretty good defense back there, and he handles Garrett Ford quite well. One and missed.
Wow.
That was not the economy cut there.
He got his money's worth on that cut.
No balls and 2 strikes. Reese Corrales from Santa Clara. He's from North Bend, Washington. High with the fastball. Some of these pitchers, the 6'3", 220-pound prototypical guys, I mean, there's so many now. These scouts, it's hard to tell which guys' mechanics you think are worth the gamble in the minors and who's ready now, and it's really tough.
I always said a baseball scout should be a good gambler.
High and deep on the right field line, hooking, and there's a foul ball, foul by about a yard or so, down into the one section of the ballpark where we don't have perfect vision. And Roach nearly surrounded that one into the right field corner. The Turks only have 1 home run here, despite having a very good win-loss record. Just 1 home run here.
We've only, I think we have 3 for the whole season. The old Bandits.
Yeah, the old the team that you figuratively put them on a bus out of town.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things I'm excited about up in your area is you guys are gonna have a new state park up there, huh?
The
Pitch to Roach is high for a ball.
the guests state park, they're getting that rolling. It'll be a big draw for the area.
Nice. 7 bends of the river.
Beautiful.
Area. I mean, we are just spoiled up and down Route 11. Just beautiful town for beautiful town. Chopped out for a second to be a tough play. But first was in time. Good job staying back on the ball on Stephen Curry once again making the play. So, headed for the bottom of the 9th and the North. Will need a run to stay alive and 2 for the walk-off. Who's your major league team, Corky? Who do you root for?
I hate to say this in the area. Outdoors.
Well, me too, brother.
But I'm not a big, I love Valley League baseball. I love watching college baseball.
I love
Winning
professional
number 4,
baseball,
baseball,
playoffs,
8162, 8162.
so it's, I don't get much time to sit during the summer and catch a game.
Oh yeah, you got to divide and conquer your time. Your time is what it is, and you never want to be saying, well, I'm kind of not giving a decent amount of attention to either and doing a mediocre job with both. So, I think that the Valley League can be all encompassing in a good way.
Oh yeah, I mean it's I got to give a shout out to my wife with it for her understanding. Since I was retired, it's been like 4 o'clock in the evening to 12 or 1 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So it's,
It is what it's a second job. I mean, at least if you've retired, that your hours have shifted. But it's definitely something where the people involved in the Valley League, whether it's a Bruce Alger or Kay Snyder or Bob and Teresa Reese, whatever it might be, it's got to fit out with your lifestyle. It's not some garden variety thing that you just push away from the 9 to 5 and start doing.
it's all the owners or the general managers, and we don't have owners anymore, but all the general managers and board members, we do for the game, for the kids. It just means a lot to see these kids advance.
Yeah, I definitely love it. We'll come back year after year and follow them in minor leagues.
We've got some that are doctors now, lawyers.
And they'll come back and bring their kids to be River Bandits fans. Cool stuff. Jerry Downs is going to lead things off against Garrett Ford. First pitch was low for Garrett, but that's been the prevailing theme of all of our top people with the teams. So that connection with the board, win, lose, or draw. That's curveball by Ford, swung on and missed.
Just by location, I've got a great relationship with Bruce in Newmarket, Jay in Strasburg, Bob and Teresa. Everybody in the league has just been so great to, if you have a problem, you can call Kay or Boyd and get their opinion. It's just been great.
Liner out to a second on the flyway. Good swing by Downs, but hit an atom ball for out there to the north.
Atom ball.
That's it. Coach Reese is going to come out now.
Jogging now. I'm impressed.
You're going to take the ball. You got 3 Turks on the hill. This is about getting someone into the ball game now. Because Ford's doing real well. Bob's playing as a psychologist right now. He's telling a kid who's pitching really well why he's got to take him out. Because Garrett's a bulldog. He wants to stay in there. We're going to get the right-handed from the Stanton Braves.
Another great part about this is you've got situational pitchers.
Oh yeah.
You've got, and you put them in a position to do their job.
44. Wow.
44.
It only took 5 minutes of staring at that blue camouflage, 2-tone blue camouflage uniform. Finally, exhale, see the Cooper Kessler is headed to the hill. Now, boy, is he a prospect. 6'5", 230 from Boulevard, Tennessee, Middle Tennessee State, or as they say there, middle. That's the only word you need to hear, son. Middle. And I always mess when I run into someone in Middle Tennessee and they just refer to themselves as middle. I always say, the middle of where? Middle of Idaho? Montana? And then they'll just take it on stride and say, Tennessee, son. One thing about the South that's always made me laugh is you can have 2 guys sitting on a park bench, one's 85 and the other's 84 3/4. And I'll be doggone if that older guy won't call that younger guy boy. But he's never going to get out from underneath that, is he?
No.
It is hilarious. That's a good-looking breaking ball. Stanton is hitting .311. It's like, wow. I mean, they've won some ball. If you combine your team and Stanton's team, you guys can go to AA. You guys just move it right to AA, you're good to go. They got some rakers, and you got some guys that just want to get you out. But when it comes to baseball and football, give me that defense, because the pitching can keep me in a game, and I don't need to do much with my offense. A couple of runs, and I'm likely to do it. But you still need that timely hit at the end.
Exactly.
You either get it or you don't. What a matchup here. Cooper Kessler goes strike one on the outside corner. This is our home run champ here.
He's got to be pretty well whipped, I would think.
Slider outside for a ball. Pop foul right side. This is Hunter Newman. Pretty much a power pitcher.
Big man.
High cheese, very high.
You know, we went through the phase with the digital camo. We know what to do next one.
Transparent. And he's hit the left field. Started off for the north, and now strategy-wise, I know that everyone here has been given their chance to swing. And when I look at that scoreboard, and now it's time to win a baseball game. I know that you don't want to send the guy up there. You don't want to say, "Oh, Garth, I need you to lay it down," but I'm laying it down.
Hey, I agree with you.
I'm laying it down.
Let's tie this thing up and go ahead.
Now Hogarth hits a 2-run homer and you're done, but didn't show a bunch. Took a ball outside. But you also need to show. Scouts don't draft you because you can bunt, but at some point they want to see situational baseball.
In an all-star game, a guy that will do that says a lot for him.
Fastball pops the glove on the outside. 1-1 strike. Maybe this is our inning for the drama. The pitchers have all been on a short leash and liking it so far. Fastball, he just missed on the outer edge. Good work by our home plate umpire not to get caught up in the moment. We see a little bit too much of that every now and then. But he hit the target. It has to be a strike. No, the target was 5 inches outside. Ooh, uniform ruffler there.
Just a little bit inside.
Up and in. Hogarth's got one less button there. The breeze went by. 3 balls and 1 strike. Pretty nice hitter's count for Hogarth. Off going to come straight back. Don't think there's a play to be made. And there's not. That one hit some fleshiness down there.
Oh, did it? Oh, yeah. But she's got the ball.
If you rub the ball on it, the bruise isn't quite as big. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And is there a Woodstock River bandit down there who can hit a walk-off? I think there is. Swung on and foul back to the screen. Now, if he gets one in the air, you got the home run call. Okay? We could have real good synergy there.
Logan could do it. The stars are aligned. And, no,
3 and 2.
Hey, that would work anyway.
It's a very good at-bat. Anytime you work a 3-1, that's a successful at-bat. And then he takes a 3-2. You know a guy's going to come at you. And Kessler came with the heater. Hogarth right on.
Found the hole and put it in there.
Yes, he did. I mean, my philosophy on bunting with him there, now I'm twice as obvious as it needs to be done right here. Roach goes out there, and he's probably saying to Kessler, okay, I know it's an all-star game, but they might do it.
Watch the bunt.
They might do it.
I don't know how.
With a big pitcher, too.
I was getting ready to say, I don't know how he comes off the mound.
The Turks have James Yemba, who's 6'10", and I was pleasantly surprised to see when Stanton earlier this season really tried to bunt him, which I think is a great strategy. Right. Let's see if this big guy has got any athleticism at all. He pounced on him and threw some guys out. It's like, because one travels fast and a big guy can't feel the ball.
Right.
Fastball in there for a strike. Strike one is the most powerful weapon in baseball.
It means a lot to get a hit on that batter.
And Spencer Wolf from Shepherd College. From Huntingtown, Maryland. Next pitch misses outside. 6'2", 225 pounds. It will be one of these pinch hitters who comes cold off the pine and ends up winning the ball game. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kessler Diaz hit hard out toward right center. Looking back and playable out there. Looked like an alley splitter off the bat, but it had some tail to it.
Now this is where my heart goes out to this guy. Two out. You're down a run, and you're coming to the plate.
Well, Matt Gandy coming to the plate now is a 2-time All-Star. He was an All-Star with Covington last summer. He's from Chapman, which I believe is California again, Chapman University. He's from Vero Beach, Florida. Left-hand hitting catcher, I love that. Kessler tops the ball with strike 1. Kessler in true closer's role now. 2 runners on. 1-run deficit for the North. They need a hit. Kessler set, deals side corner, maybe a little tight. Not the call there. Gandy flashes a quick look there. Short of it. Are you sure? 0-2. Gandy crowds the plate a little. Give Kessler the benefit of the doubt there. 0-2 pitch. In with a 4-seam running fastball. He blows him away. He's coming around for the ball game. And I ran out of fingers and toes. I think we got everybody on the game. It's a lot of people. Yeah, it's a lot of people. You know, if I had to predict what the final score of tonight's game would have been, I would have said 3-2. But it wouldn't have gone any higher than that. How about you?
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought it would have been anything but a 1-run ball game.
See, now you and the Turks, Woodstock and the Turks played a unique game. Was it last season where there was one bat, where everybody went to, everybody was using the same bat? And tell me what's about that.
I think we were here. No, we're Woodstock. I'm like standing up on the hill, and I see our guys coming to bat with this like a 4-foot piece of lumber. And I'm like, what are they doing? And then come find out they were just having fun.
It's called the secret deal between the two teams.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you a better story.
Well, the
presentation.
No, that game was basically the outcome of the game is not going to change the standings at all. And the players are like, let's use one bat and everybody swing at the first pitch. And the pitcher has to throw a first pitch fastball. The game was over in about 45 minutes.
We were at Newmarket 3 years ago. And I noticed some guys in our bullpen I didn't recognize. And this was the last game of the season. And I'm thinking, what?
Should a general manager know who those players are, Porky?
I would, at the end of the season, but what they did, Newmarket players went around behind the fence at Newmarket, met our players, they changed jerseys and went and sat each other.
Wait a second. You're a former policeman. That sounds like a police report in the making. It's four naked men behind the center field fence.
No, they changed the top.
Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, we
walked me down from the ledge on that one. Let's take a look at who our MVP would be. We have some really Spartan numbers here, to say the least. It's a whole bunch of zeros and ones like binary code.
I would have to say,
it's normally from a winning team. Who's got to run batted in? That would be my question. Anyone have to run batted in? The starter from Waynesboro, possibly, yeah.
1 hit or no hits?
No hits and a strikeout. Let's see. Boy.
Who did you pick?
There's no run batted in for the entire. Actually, Matt Rose has a run batted in, but he's 1 for 3. Other guys are 1 for 2. And I can't be partial to Toots that much. But Spitz was 1 for 2 with a stolen base.
I'll go with Spitz. I agree with you.
Yeah. Wow.
Or Edwards.
Yeah, Edwards.
Same thing.
The only thing I know different between them was a steal. But no one got any big time plays. Let me see something here. Yep, you know what? I'm going to change mine. That's for me. Stephen Kerr played extremely well at second base.
All right, I agree with you.
But he's on the losing team. So, with the plays he made, it would have sort of won without it. Probably go with Thomas. That'll be a homer. Let's see.
Bruce
Alger and Lemish down there.
Lemish, a commissioner, executive vice
We'll
president.
be presenting awards at this time. First of all, for the team trophy, the winning team. And Mr. Alger will present that to the North All-Stars. I'm sorry, the South All-Stars.
We had a 50-50 chance.
If you had to know what took place in this press box this evening, you would understand exactly why I said that.
That is what's great about Valley League baseball.
But we make mistakes and laugh about it.
That's exactly right.
So the North was almost awarded a trophy, and they were about to take it. How about that? Crazy thing. I guess he never heard the South would rise again. So Coach Weiss gets his huge roster picture there with the winning trophy. I think the only thing left is to award the. I think they usually award the best pitcher, best hitter of the game.
Well, I think what they do is give a MVP for North and South.
Yeah, that's
All right, now for the individual awards, Mr. Lemish.
I would go with Spitz and Kerr, but that's just me. Kerr was 1 for 1. He really looks sharp in the field.
All right, here you go with your 60-yard dash. The winner is Thomas Spitz.
We're getting back.
That young man can fly.
Well, we were told.
A clocking of 6.32. 6.32.
We were told that Nick Sinea is 6'2" from Front Royal.
I think they changed it to 6'5".
All righty.
I
The
think
home run derby winner was Darian Carpenter.
So Thomas Spitz won the 60 as well. He's definitely. Yeah, and you know, Carpenter with the home runs, boy, that was an impressive contest. Even from 1 through 3, those 3 really did a fantastic job.
Thomas Spitz. So
Thomas Spitz, so I got that part of it right.
all right. I'm going to go down here and meet my guys.
Yeah, definitely. It's been great having you up
Thank you so
here.
much.
I like to get an insight into the different teams and really connect your name and your voice to your audience. I think we've got to do that with a lot of Valley League teams. Each of us are our own little lump of coal that we can squeeze into a diamond. But it's a unique little thing that we get to play part of every summer. And we know the boys feel the same way. That makes us feel good.
There's a Nick Sinea was the.
I have not met a ball player yet. It's been appreciative of everybody, not only their home teams, but when you go on the road, it's like coming up here. It's always fun to come up here because over the years we've got to know people.
Sure, yeah.
The relationship. And they had an umpire tell me, he said,
Congratulations.
that's lost its right.
Once again, thanks for all the All-Stars for coming out this
Got the
evening.
relationship.
And for your participation, we look forward to seeing you.
Well, it's about some of the balls.
Yeah.
Best of luck the rest of the
All right,
season.
buddy. Thanks. I do appreciate it.
Keep up the good work.
Outstanding. Good having Porky Bowman, general manager from Woodstock River Babies on. It has been a very fast-paced night. The South really get the Super One win, exactly the kind of game we expected. Changes every other pitch. Thank God for Sportswear for follow along. Every player got into the game that I was probably got more than 2 at-bats.
Coming out and supporting this fine league.
And we're the only pitcher who's got more than 1 inning. Gary Kelly here. Newmarket did pitch 2 innings in the game. Thomas Spitz won a 60-yard dash, and they adjusted one of the times there. just ahead of, I was definitely told that someone other than Spitz won a 60-yard dash. So Spitz gets that and the MVP, so good for the Turks. And, the home run hitting trio of Hunter Newman, Andrew Yasik, and Darian Carpenter absolutely lit it up in the home run hitting contest. Eventually, Carpenter coming up with the victory. So, and a good night here at Eagle Field in Harrisonburg. Smiling faces all around. Good for the families to make it here to town. Meet some of the wacky teammates that their sons have been telling them about. Having a good time getting to meet the coaches, the host families, and the important people that run these clubs up and down the Valley League. And for those of you out there in Turks Nation, who I talk to throughout the season, all the Valley League teams, I do appreciate you sticking with us. It's been a good night here at the ballpark, and hope you tune back in again. Whether your kid is here or not, we love to have you be a Valley League fan for life. And I want to thank Dean Steele for showing up with a giant crane and the 30 by 60 foot American flag. Really made the event here special. Something that's patriotic, looming over the stadium. We definitely appreciate it. So I thank all of you for tuning in. I'm Dave Norman. Have a good night, everybody.